just it's pathetic. It really is pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a combination of a lot of things: the players, the tactics, substitutions. But it's just like I said, man. It's just nothing's going right. Absolutely nothing is going right for just the entire Mexican soccer.
We absolutely
And
deserve this result. I think the way Mexico played today, they didn't even deserve the draw. Let's be honest. That ball that was labeled a handball, that ball was going into outer space. It wasn't even on target. I'm surprised the referee even called it a PK. Yes, there's hand. Yes, there's contact, but it's not going towards anywhere but except the fans. And
wait. You mean yes, there's hand, yes, there's ball, but it's not a fucking handball? Shut the fuck up, my man.
I'm
Fuck you
just
talking
saying, dude.
about?
Like, it's not going towards the goal. There was like his hand, like blocking that trajectory of the ball, does not, prevent
That's
a goal
not the
from
rule.
scoring.
That's not the way the rule is. The rule is if there's like contact with the hand, it counts. It's like Santi. It got ruled a handball when it was coming in, and he received it with his like the edge of his chest / shoulder.
Well,
Like the rule's there.
well, there's one rule that everybody will understand, no matter what sport it is: the ball don't lie.
You mean it changed trajectory as soon as it hit him in the hand? Yes.
No,
Now I'm
meaning,
gonna be honest. I was watching it
no, no,
and I
no,
was like, "Holy shit!" He took it to the face.
meaning a PK that shouldn't have existed and ends up being missed is absolute justice.
My biggest
look,
thing was how hard it was that the Mexican fans were celebrating a PK. I was like, guys, you should not be celebrating being awarded a PK as a fucking game winning shot. Like they were, no, hombre, güey, se me hace que
This
vi
is
a un
where we
cabrón
are.
kissing the shield.
This is
You
where
know
we are
what?
as a fan base. We are
here's the
celebrating PKs.
I just want to add
one,
one thing, Ron. One thing, Judge.
yeah.
One thing. Is to me, in my opinion, it's starting to look like like the home supposed home field advantage with all those beaners in the stands is looking like more of a like they're scared to play in the U.S. with all these beaners looking at them. They're scared of the situation, of the moment. To me, it's just I don't know, man. I've seen some bad Mexico teams, but this one just takes the cake.
Oh, this is the worst one. This is the worst one in 40 years. Even to the point where Mexico was on the brink of being eliminated for the 2014 World Cup, and even though Ejitos Mesa, this right now this entire these last 5-6 years has just been pathetic. Start with even basically with Tata, it's just like there's no the team doesn't know what they're playing for, you know. And I think they're just trying to see what's popular in Europe and trying to implement it with no real conviction, no real strategy. And like for example, the penalties. I mean, it is a handball, but it goes further than this. It really does. And speaking on the penalties, I mean, for some reason, dude, it just seems that like nowadays in modern and in football, you have a lot of players taking these really shitty um, attempts of taking PKs. Like it's like they're trying to be cute when they're taking a PK. Like it happened a couple of days ago in the Euro Cup. I think who was it? Lewandowski, whatever.
Lewandowski had, yeah,
I
he
mean,
got to retake it.
yeah, but I mean, it's just stuff like that, dude. I mean, I'm against that, dude. I like the way like Cuauhtemoc Blanco used to do it, dude. He would just fucking run, and boom, just
Plastic.
And,
exactly.
ironically, Orbelin is known to do that stutter step to
And I fucking hate that.
yeah,
But and I fucking
he
but
typically does that, but he didn't do it this time, and he ends up not even tilting his head up, and the goalie just
but
read him like a book.
yeah, but like I said, this goes beyond penalty kicks and how you take penalty kicks. It's just a poor time management, poor tactics, poor
Oh, wow.
substitutions. Um,
Ron,
and
don't
now,
even be trying. Don't try to brag on Cuauhtemoc. He'd be running from like the half field line. to take a
Thank
penalty
you.
kick. Remember that?
Thank you. Someone who does remember it correctly.
Hey, well, I guess I know you don't. I know you have a short memory, but the man in all his fucking career only missed 3 penalties.
I
In
mean,
20 in a 20
I know you
in
have
a
a
20
hazy
year.
memory, but do you not remember el mame de que, güey, voy a hacer un sándwich porque cuando tengo a tomar un penal? Like, no mames, güey, se tardaba un chingo. Todos decíamos, no mames, ¿qué está haciendo que
Doesn't
pinche
matter.
Paco Palencia?
It doesn't matter. The guy was almost. He was
Ah, sí,
solid
güey,
at
pero
taking penalties.
if you want to talk shit about styles, there you go. Now, if you want to shit on somebody else's style,
No,
why don't you shit on Uriel Antunes?
whether he was 3 feet away, 5 feet away, or 15 feet away, the way I'm talking about how he would strike the shit out of it, and he didn't do these little fucking stutter steps, and then try to tap it in and crap like that. I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, I see players like that, like Vega, Pulido, Orbelin and stuff like that, and they make fools out of themselves.
When in doubt, flat out, because when you go flat out and you hit it hard, even if the goalie guesses the trajectory, it still will go in, or it'll be a lot closer than this bullshit that he did.
No, you don't want to go all full. You don't want to go all full strength though. You need.
Well, you need power, right, dude. I don't know what the fuck that was with Orbelin.
No, if you hit within a foot from the post, there's no way the keeper can get it with a decent amount, not full blast power, but with a decent amount. And Ron is right. Like Cuauhtemoc, he does a payasada just like Orbelin with his midfield run, but at least he made his penalties, and that's I guess Ron's point.
They were no. It's just you execute it. And it's fast. And it's fast. You already know where the hell. You don't even think about it. You already know before. Don't even make eye contact with the keeper and stuff like that. Not try to give any tells. And just fucking blast it, because at the end of the day, it's a 50-50. He can block it or you make it in. But at least you don't make a fucking fool out of yourself like these goddamn idiots are doing.
Real quick, I'm going to go to the YouTube comments. Chuy Garcia, thanks for joining us. He says, hey, guys, good to hear from you again. Mexico's current talent is on display. I've never felt rock bottom till I saw this game. I agree. We're out. We're there with Ojitos Mesa team from 2000s, bro.
Look, guys, look. Hold on. Look, I hate to quote or take from mediocrity, which is Chivas, and quote Fernando Hierro, which is wait, hay mini partidos adentro de un partido. Did you guys not watch the first half, the first 15? Mexico was pressing. It was looking good. It was holy shit. Okay. This is a Mexico that I can hope and aspire to build to something that's going well. Certain things within the match happened that is just the way a game develops, dude. Ball, the way the ball bounced.
Like Quiñones being a fucking idiot?
Hold on. It's an overall arc, right? The way the ball bounces in front of Santi, it moves oddly in midair. He's in midair, the ball bounces, he misses that kick. Cool. All right, Quiñones fucking up. How many chances, clear fucking shots at goal, did we not get?
So what do you say? The laws of physics were against Mexico
that
tonight?
Sometimes,
nah, dude.
Sometimes
that's
it's
some loser
not our
Cruz
night,
Azul
guy.
talk, bro. That's how you justify all your second place finishes.
No, that's the reality of the game, dude. A veces no es tu pinche juego.
The irony that you mentioned Ojitos Mesa, because if you guys go back, and I remember this, when Ojitos Mesa's basically time was up. I remember he was given an interview, a post-game interview, and he was saying what you did. Well, I mean, we played well for 10, 15 minutes and this and this and that. And I remember, and it's the fucking, the sportscaster, he was looking at him in disbelief. And it's dude, the game is not 15 minutes. You have to manage the game 90 fucking minutes. And Mexico has not been fucking able to do that. Now, granted, there's a lot of they had a lot of fucking chances and they've blown chances and stuff like that. But this is just, it's been a common symptom for years now.
Absolutely.
Mexico has hit fucking rock bottom.
Yeah,
it's hit rock bottom. There's no style.
This is where we are right now, and like I said, we're lucky that we're in a World Cup in our backyard that we're already qualified for.
But here's the thing: the people are going to say, "Oh my God! I mean, Mexico created a lot of chances towards the end." Yeah, why? Because fucking Venezuela conceded possession? Of
Yeah.
course, they were playing for the fucking result.
Yep. Yeah. Real
It's, I
quick.
mean, that doesn't, that all those fucking chances that they fucking created towards the end, dude, I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. Why? Because Venezuela,
Yeah, they gave
they
up. They gave him the ball.
conceded. They really, yeah, exactly. They conceded possession because they were playing for the fucking result.
Yep.
And that's fine. That's valid. But like I said, Mexico's fucked themselves big time because if they're able to if they're able to get through, and qualify for the group stages, I'm sorry, dude, they're not. You know, the team that Mexico. I mean, the team that the in the World Cup, the one that played Argentina and lost 2-0. I'm sorry, that was a better team than the one we have here at the fucking Copa America.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get fucking exposed bad.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. Juan Stamos says Jimmy deserves to lose his job for starting Charlie fucking Rodriguez. I agree. I don't know what manager can give us any playing style, but Jimmy is not the guy. Not in time for the World Cup. And with that being said, we have a new speaker, Chewy. Welcome to the show. What you got for
Hey,
us?
fellas. I hope y'all are disappointed as I am, but at the same time, not surprised. I'm going to try to make it super quick.
Yeah, let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone's surprised. Like Ron, there's no surprise. I'm not surprised at all to all these results. This team hasn't looked good for a while.
For a long time.
The player quality and everything has gone down. I see all these fans like all disappointed and expecting, like, saying Santi doesn't deserves more and all this stuff. I look at the fans of Mexico now, and then I see that prank they pulled on La Volpe, and I'm thinking these fans are probably thinking that what they're saying
is true.
That prank is for real. Like they're probably believing all this stuff. Like Santi needs to go to a big club, or Berlin is going to in Europe somewhere. These guys, Santi is no good. None of the players are any good. The Lamborghini, what is that? What I mean, Jimmy is no Lamborghini. This I don't know why all these high expectations, all these fans trying to go to games, thinking they're expecting Mexico to do well. This is expected. They're saying Mexico's a football team, a football country, but their team is no good. Yeah, of course. So I don't know. Everyone's getting all enraged and stuff. This is totally expected. Maybe some new players will come up in 4 years, 5 years, but it's going to be a terrible result here in Copa America, and the World Cup is going to probably be even worse.
For sure.
There's players, and so here's the thing, and this is going to be my mini little rant, and I totally agree with you, Albert. This has been coming for a long time. We've seen it. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. But it goes to, and I hate to say this, but it goes. We are as guilty as the fucking shitty product that there's on the field, because we continue to every time. You know that Mexico is the national team that has
Yes, I'm just
come
switching
out
to
with the
the
most
U.S. men's
with the
national team.
most. Mexico is the national team that has produced the most jerseys in the last 10 years. Why? Because we continue to buy them, right? So we are we're part of the problem. Did you know that
Is everyone muted?
Loco Bielsa, the reason why he decided to not take the contract here, it wasn't because of money. They offered him double the money than he got in Uruguay. But here's just the top three things that he suggested in the contract. One, no more commercials, zero commercials, meaning Zoom didn't have power over the players to go to Lowe's, to go to Home Depot, to go to Coca-Cola, to go to Nike, to go all this fucking bullshit, right? They said, no, we can't do that. Second, he said he needed control over every single academy, right? Because he wanted to see what players were coming up. The owners from the team said no, right? And then the third one, he said the top 20 national teams ranked in FIFA, I won a game against them, not at home. I won it on the road. And guess what Zoom said? Now we can't do that. Why? Because we're gonna go play Germany in Germany, and I might have to pay them money. and not get anything out of it? No, absolutely no. Why? So let's continue to have these shitty ass games against Trinidad and Tobago in fucking Houston and make a shit ton of money off of it and continue to see this fucking shitty ass product that we have. So I totally agree with Albert with what he said. We shouldn't be surprised. We knew this shit was coming, right? And
But it's puro
here it
vibes
is.
out there in LA, man. Sold out
Oh,
games.
dude,
It's
you
all
kidding me?
vibes. You dress up like Chavo del Ocho, you get a beer, you get into a fight, and you forget about it and go to the
Brother,
next game.
brother,
The big
we're
Mexican
jumping.
flag.
You see? Did you see
Here's
the fans jumping up and down because we got a fucking PK? Shut the fuck up. Sit down, dude.
Bro, that shit was disgusting,
It's
bro. I
fucking
saw it and I was
disgusting.
like, be
But
ashamed
hold
of
on.
we got
yourself.
Celeto
Hold on.
Lindo sponsored by tequila now, dude. It's all vibes and
But hey,
money.
Jesus Christ, it's
guys,
unbelievable.
look, hey, I understand it and to a certain degree. I understand the sentiment. You know what you're trying to say. But here's the thing: Bielsa isn't also the solution either, because the whole thing of one man wanting control of an entire
Agree. Agree.
football pyramid. I'm sorry, that's already happened before. It doesn't work, and it's very volatile because whatever happens, if he leaves or that person leaves for whatever reason,
The whole
then
project gets scrapped. Yeah.
you're exposed. Now, money is not the sin here, okay? Because here's the thing: the Brazils, the Argentinas, the Uruguays, all those guys, they also basically market the shit out of their players. And in fact, Brazil, I mean, you remember back in the day when they still had the Televisa Noticiero at nights, and they had that La Doctora, what's her name? I forget her name. She was like a marketing major.
I don't
Do you
know,
guys
bro.
remember that?
You lost us, bro. Just keep
Oh,
going.
all right. So anyhow, the point is that they were comparing, and this we're going back 50, like 20 years, okay? And they were comparing basically what the numbers, like what the federation was pulling in, and I thought that the federation was making tons of money, but when they were comparing it to like Brazil and like the commercial rights and what they were making, it's like Jesus Christ, they were making fucking hand over fist, obviously because they have a winning product, right? So even if Mexico becomes better, that problem, and I say that in quotes, it's gonna also get worse in that sense because you're a winning product, more people want it, so they're gonna sell it. So that can be a burden, obviously, but you need money, especially in Mexico, for player development because you really only have 18 first division teams that are basically investing in player development because we don't, unfortunately, we're not Germany, we're not the US, where basically, you have the schools that produce and help, develop players at the academic level.
Yeah.
Um,
All
so,
right, hold on. Before we go down another fucking history lesson for another hour and a half, all right, I want to address the chat and say to Game On, yes, you're right. The he did fuck up. The effort was there. The problem is Quiñones isn't typically a defender, so him committing like taking that role was a dumb move.
He plays like that in America, though.
But
Every time he loses a ball, he draws back and he fights for it. Except he doesn't do this stupid shit that he did today.
exactly,
And honestly,
the
man, like you guys
desperation
like
was hitting him.
pointing out that one situation is like not the issue. I mean,
No, absolutely, yeah, no, it's not. It's not the issue.
I mean,
Oh
like
no,
going
no,
back to
it's
Ron's point of like 20 years ago and some commercial and stuff like that. I think that's the problem with most Mexico fans that they're stuck in 20, 30, 40 years ago. And I said this before in the podcast. The game is so globalized, like every time it just gets more and more globalized that the level of competition or like the margins that existed before just keep getting smaller and smaller. Like you're still gonna have like your top elite teams, your Germany, your France, your Italy, like things like that. But even them, if you see them at the Euros, even they're struggling with the smaller teams
Look at
because
look at Portugal today. Lost 2-0 to Georgia. I didn't even know they were a country.
exactly, and if 20, 30 years ago, that's probably impossible. But now, if you look at the rosters, so many players like playing in the top five leagues in the world. Same thing with or even Liga MX, Rondon. Rondon shows up to Liga MX and he's like
He
one of
takes over.
the more prolific forwards in the league. So it's just that everyone's so the fact that people are upset that there was a loss to Venezuela shows you that you're disrespecting Venezuela, that you still think it's 20 years ago where you play Bolivia, Nicaragua, Guatemala, easy. Those countries should still be easy. But if you look at Venezuela in the last year and a half, right now in World Cup qualifiers, they're what, like third or fourth?
They're above
They
Brazil.
they're tied Brazil at home at Brazil's home 101. If you look at the roster, you're like, oh, these players are good. It makes sense. You know, the little short guy that looks like from the
Soteldo.
Flintstones,
Sotelo played
Barney
for
Rubble.
Tigres. Yep.
Yeah, you know, he played for Tigres. You know, he didn't pan out, but Tigres saw something in him to put the money down. So it tells you about the level of players they have. So before we even talk about like uh, formations and stuff like that. I think the Federativos FMF they're on the same train of thought that they're still stuck 20 years ago that they haven't been putting in the work. They haven't been putting in the work with the developers, with the academies, the things that they need to do right so they didn't get blindsided. And right now they're blindsided. They're like, holy shit, we've been so
But,
focused on being
Here's
the big fish in CONCACAF that
here,
you
hold on, wait.
you believe it. You believe the hype. You believe the smoke. You're always
No,
winning
but
the Gold Cup, or you're only competing versus the U.S. You're like we're always gonna be in the final of our tournament. You know, Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, todos nos la pelan. Like we're the kings. And while you're believing all that shit, countries around you are putting in work and like getting better. You know,
True.
20 years ago that was good enough because you probably had better structure than well, you still do. You had better structure than Central America. You had better structure than South American countries. Your players, you know, better nutrition. You know, you're not at the level of the U.S., but compared to the rest of Latin America, Mexico is well off as far as their structure, their nutrition, everything that the players need. But as far as the rest of the world and everybody else putting in the work, that's what happened. It just got blindsided, man. And you can tell it's been blindsided because look at the crop for the next 10 years. There ain't shit. There's not one single player right now that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and you're hearing about them. You heard about Giovanni Dos Santos when he was on the come up. You heard about Carlos Vela. You heard about Rafa Marquez. And right now, there ain't no one.
I agree with
wait,
you with the structure wise. I agree with you structure wise. Yeah, we're better than any team in South America. Like I agree with you. But here's the part that really bothers me about it is that you go to Rosario Central and you see their practice pitch, the fields, and their structure pretty much right. It's shit, right? But what do? They sell a player for I don't know 10, 15 million. What once a year or once every 2 years, and they do continue to invest. Half of the money, yeah, maybe goes to ownership. Half of the other money goes to their youth development. Right in Mexico, it doesn't work like that. In Mexico, it works the complete opposite. When was the last time? Uh, like I'm gonna put a
But that's
perfect.
my whole point that
Yeah,
we believe the hype
yeah,
that we have
exactly,
better structure, that we have better nutrition than all these
exactly.
poor countries in Central America. Los argentinos son bien pobres. Mira sus campos de mierda. And you're
They
so
are.
bought up. You're so bought. They are, but you're so focused on what you have better as far as off the field that you're not focused on the field. And as long as it was good enough to win the Gold Cup 6, 7, 8 times, back-to-back titles, as long as it's good enough to keep you in the top 20 rankings of FIFA, because Mexico's always in the top 20 rankings of FIFA, but you're on the top 20 rankings because you keep winning all your local competitions in the CONCACAF area. And then as far as the business aspect, I have no problem with the commercials. At the end of the day, it's a business. If they want the players to film 50 fucking commercials, do your 50 fucking commercials. But you better actually have players that are worth it. Like Charlie Rodriguez. Fucking Charlie Rodriguez could be the fucking ambassador of fucking Toyota. That's not gonna make me want to go buy a Toyota. That's gonna make me hate that shit, bro. Fucking Charlie Rodriguez is a fucking bum.
No,
If you're
but
What's he
making
to
doing
good
on
to
the national
to
commercials,
team?
local,
have someone that has weight
I
behind it.
I think to local Bielsa's point, was that the fact that you have a group of players, right, that are coming from Europe, right? Like for instance, Fecha FIFA, right? So you have a group of players that are coming from different countries or whatever, right? And you only have them for about 3 days before your actual match, right? But you only have them for two because that one day
It's travel.
they're out there fucking filming commercials and
Oh yeah.
this and he don't even get to practice with them, right? So to that point on the commercial part, I did agree with Loco Bielsa because I'm like, fuck, you're supposed to have those players to train with them.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna prepare
Bielsa's a
yourself
loser,
for a
man.
game if you don't have those players?
You said Bielsa's a loser.
Bielsa's so
You,
Hold on,
you
hold
sound
on.
like Piojo.
Here's the thing,
What has
though.
he won?
Here's the thing, and there's a reason why I am going back 20 years. Okay, because I see what works and what doesn't. Right now, this whole like what's his name, Pedro Bermudez. Oh, the reason Venezuela is because they have players in Europe and stuff like that. That's been the case 30, 20, 15 years ago. You always had the teams were in CONCACAF always had more players in Europe than Mexico. Always. Jamaica, the Dominican, or, what do you call it? The Trinidad and Tobago, Canada, all
Jamaica.
those guys. So yes, but there's a fucking difference. What's different now than what was then? What? We were fucking playing in Copa Libertadores. We were playing in Copa Sudamericana. You
Oh,
had players playing in.
bro.
Dude, tell me. And I say this, and I ask this question, and I never get an. No.
Ahí
What?
estamos
What?
otra vez,
No.
Oh
otra
man,
vez.
What?
Bro,
No
we've
What?
heard this like
mames,
a
güey.
million
Mejor me
times,
cuelgo de un
bro.
pinche
And I'm gonna keep
huevo.
and I'm gonna
there's a
keep fucking saying.
correlation. There's a
Exactly.
correlation for
If you're too fucking stupid to realize that, that's you. But the thing about it is when you're playing Copa America and you're playing in Chile, you're playing in Uruguay, you're playing in Rosario Central or Racing or Boca or River and stuff like that. Dude, that's where you grow nuts, dude. That's where you fucking, say, hey, this is who I am. You know, I'll bring up the case of El Gringo Castro. The guy was a nobody. They thought that the guy was basically just a Televisa, model or whatever, right? But then when he fucking played in the 2002 Copa Libertadores match against River Plate, and he fucking made, and he fucking had a tremendous game in La Monumental where they fucking won. Whoa, wait a minute, this guy, he's pretty good. That's why where we're at because our fucking players are not fucking playing competitive matches, and if they're not in Europe playing competitive matches, like Osorio, and that's one of the few things that I agreed with him that your players have to be consistently playing competitive matches. We're not getting them.
Look,
If
Ron,
we're fucking right,
I'm a tweak it. I'm gonna correct you a
oh,
little bit.
hold on.
No, it's not
So
that our
hold
players
on.
are
So
not playing competitive matches. Look,
hold
in
on.
one
If we're
sentence,
not
one
playing,
sentence. I'm gonna tell
listen.
you one
Hold
sentence.
on. I'm
It's
gonna
not
finish
that
my
they're not
thought.
playing competitive matches. It's that they're not good. Our players are
No,
not.
no. Yeah, but the thing about it is, if you're not testing them, you don't fucking know. CONCACAF, the champions, the CONCA champions, that's not a test. Leagues Cup is not a test. You don't fucking know how good your players are because you don't fucking test them. You're not going in fucking hostile crowds with fucking teams that are fucking out to get you, dude. So I get it, dude. If we had fucking 15 players, 20 players playing and basically playing week in, week out, playing the Europa or playing the Champions League, okay. You're
Look,
getting you're
I
getting
think all those things help, but at the root, it just comes down to the federación. For example, I'll give you Japan. Japan doesn't have Libertadores, doesn't have Sudamericana. They don't play in the European competitions. They're not getting tested, by crazy things. But Japan is on the up. If you look at the Japanese national team, they're on the up. The results are always get better and better. But it's the work that they do amongst the federación. They had a 50-year plan that they wanted to make it so far in the World Cup by like 2050, and they've been sticking to that plan. Now, someone said, I think it was Jesus, that he said, something about Mexico, a soccer country or something. I don't remember he said if we were or we were not, but I said this in the podcast hella episodes ago. We are not the soccer country that we think we are. We're a
Facts.
boxing country. We're a UFC country. We're a fighter spirit country. But the amount of Mexicans that you have per as far as population as a whole, And the fact that you come up with one good prospect every 10, 15, 20 years, that means you're shit. That means that's just luck at that point. You got 100 million people. I hope you can make one good guy every 10, 15 years. The fact
Funny you mentioned
we have
Japan.
the structure we have in Mexico with the stadiums and the players, the access. Rondon coming saying that he arrived in Argentina and then like it took him like 8 months to be able to get a bank account, and like the teams were just so behind the times and so fucking broke, and that he comes over to Liga MX and within fucking 3 days here he has a taxpayer identification number, he has a bank account, he has everything set up. That shit's there. The structure is there. The stadiums are there. The views are there. Because look at them. Liga MX is the most watched league in the U.S. It's above Premier League. It's above La Liga. It's above Champions League. Everything's there except the talent. Now, if you want to blame that on the fact that there's no developers, that there's not the right scouts, you can blame it on a bunch of shit. But what I put it on is the fact that the players are not good enough. We're just not.
But there is
You mentioned
a little
Japan.
bit of talent.
Hold on.
I thought he was going to say Televisa.
No, you mentioned Japan, and I'm glad that you mentioned Japan because that's a conversation that you also have to bring Australia into the mix. Australia did something that Mexico should have done fucking 4 or 5 decades ago. Hey,
play
fuck you
Libertadores?
guys.
Yeah,
No, get the fuck get the hell out of
Bro, we
CONCACAF.
get it, man. We hear it every
No,
episode, but I want to give.
What I'm saying is that that Japan in many ways similar situation as Mexico because it's a footballing desert. You don't you kind of have to you have to kind of like create and grow from within to basically go out, and Japan's been able to do that. Australia's been able to do that, and they're taking a really strong initiative in building their domestic league and
Korea
basically
too.
also what's that?
Korea too.
South Korea too.
Yeah. Okay. But the thing is, like I said, is like at least, Japan, the J League, the A League over there in Australia and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever watched, some of like their equivalent of their Champions League. It's a lot more fucking competitive than
a higher level. It is.
It's a lot more competitive than look. Our best teams in CONCACAF are better than their teams, okay? Especially the Mexican League games. But overall, they have a lot better teams than fucking El Salvador, than fucking Nicaragua, than the Dominican, stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, I just wish that we have everything that we need to succeed in terms of the infrastructure. Okay, you're right. We have. I mean, you've heard numerous South American and and even European players say that the facilities in Mexico are basically almost on par with just about all of European clubs. Obviously, there's some teams that are just in the elite status in terms of infrastructure and technology, right? But again, until we start basically placing our players in competitive matches.
I hear you, Ron. We got other people that want to speak up, so give me a sec. Ernesto, it's your time to speak. Thank you for being patient with us. What is your take on tonight's game? Oh, sorry, you're on mute, Ernesto. Hello?
Oh, it got muted by the host. I don't know what happened.
There you go. You're good. Welcome.
Oh, sorry. I'm leaving the stadium right now. I'm actually right here witnessing live what happened. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How's it from the stadium? How are your emotions, thoughts?
I mean, it happened what we all thought was gonna happen. Okay, there is no team. There is no selección. They cannot connect more than 3 passes. Antuna with the same weaknesses, all speed, no touch, no centers. Quiñones is lost. Santi is lost. All the changes make no sense. Piojo stays on the bench. Chiquito Sanchez stays on the bench. Orbelin stayed on the bench until later on, misses the penalty. There is no urgency with this team. I don't know if they already feel that Jimmy is out, but let's be real. Jimmy is not making it against Ecuador. I have a feeling that against Ecuador, we lose. They come out on Monday talking about Jimmy's no longer with the team.
Yep.
Thank you, incondicionales. They'll bring in someone to patch it up again, like they did with Coca, and then see if they can make the fans happy. Because let's be real, the Mexican fans in Mexico hate la selección, and that's why they don't play in Mexico no more, because they're tired of their bullshit. And I don't know if I can cuss or not, but
No, you're good.
They're tired of their bullshit, so that's why they keep coming over here to the U.S. because us pochos, we'll support it.
Hell yeah.
No matter what. And don't get me wrong, this isn't a molero, this isn't a friendly, it's an actual tournament, and those are nice to have and go see in person. But it does sting when people spend. I mean, I didn't spend a lot on my ticket, but I know plenty of people probably overspent on the tickets and on the parking and on the merch. And the pockets are fine for Zoom, for U.S. soccer, for Mexico, it's fine.
Yep.
And I get it, just like how you guys were saying, it's a business. I understand that. But come on, you guys, I'm tired of being not lied to, because there's always going to be some lies here and there. I'm tired of being acted like we don't know any better. This whole, it's a generational change because we let go of Ochoa because he's old, but Tala Rangel isn't the goalie, the 24-year-old, or Malagon, or Acevedo. It's the guy from Pumas is like 33. So how's that a generational change?
Yep.
Romo's still playing. He is not. I don't.
And in his defense, he actually played pretty good today. I know, like, most of the time he's like shit, but he actually was one of the few respectable players out there. But you're Charlie Rodriguez. What are you doing there?
No, for sure. Hey, look. But what I'm saying is, like, I can tell Romo was gassed already in the second half, and Jimmy already had wasted all his subs. So that's a coach that doesn't even know his own players, because you should know your players' strengths and weaknesses.
Who do you replace him with, man? We don't have midfielders.
He was already down 1-0. Romo's a defensive player. We already knew Venezuela, once they had scored, they were going to hold on to that lead and counter, because they had Rondon on the whole time on the field. And then they swapped them out. The whole time, Venezuela, I'm going to be honest with you. I saw more of a dominance of Venezuela on Mexico than I saw Mexico on Venezuela.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw clear chances from Venezuela. Mexico could not make any opportunities. Like I said, Antuna played for free, not because I needed him on a red card, but you have Piojo Alvarado that had a banger of a season this year, not play once. You have I don't know why Vega's even having an opportunity, in my opinion. I don't think he did anything worth noteworthy at Toluca to be already all right. You're back in selección after that what's it called, appearances in the World Cup where he didn't do jack squat. We still have him.
But this is where we are, man. We don't have any other players.
But that's the thing, though. If what's it called? If you're gonna lose, at least lose fucking trying something else. You have Cortizo on the bench. You have Marcelo Flores on the bench. Piojo.
None of those guys are doing nothing, man.
But at least fucking say, look, this is what we got, and you know what? At least we can accept, like, yeah, this is all we got. But we keep getting the same players, the same formation. Mexico doesn't need to play a 4-4-3, a 4-3-3, my bad, if they don't know how to center. They don't know how to center, so why are we playing a 4-3-3? Play with two pivots on top. Play Quiñones and Santi. Play Piojo on the right, or play Piojo and Antuna on the sides. But do something different, so that way so we can actually see, like, all right, you know what? We're trying something new. But the thing is that when we're supposed to do something new, Jimmy throws whatever he can on the wall, and it doesn't land. So, in my opinion, I think what should have happened is, look, we gave Jimmy the opportunity during the Gold Cup. He got us the Gold Cup. That was one thing that we needed to do to get back the fans on our side again. But he's not the guy that's going to take us for Copa America. And I think that's where Federación screwed up.
But who is the guy? Like, let's be honest. Who is?
There is no guy.
There is no guy.
There is
no
no
one right
guy.
now.
Well,
There's
that's
no
what I was going to
team,
do.
man.
That was going to be my second point. So we all know, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, the higher ups, the presidents, those federativos, they're our main cancer. Let's be real. You have somebody like Grupo Pachuca, which aren't even the best people either, because they're over here talking about, we wanted Bielsa, we didn't get Bielsa en la selección, and then they're the first ones to cry wolf about, oh, we need more players in Europe, yet they go sell Chiquito Sanchez to America for fucking $12 million. So it
Where'd you
makes
want
no
him to go?
sense.
Real Madrid?
Chiquito has a low ceiling. His
No, yeah,
ceiling
he has
is
a
as
low.
high as his
He's
height,
not going to
dude.
Europe, man.
No. But see, but that's what I'm saying though. We always hear people say this. I'm a firm believer that you don't need to send everybody to Europe to be a good selección. I don't believe that, because even you can look at England. England is packed and they're playing like garbage in the Euro, and that's a stacked squad. But Southgate can't make it work. But no one's saying, "Oh, it's because they gotta leave. They gotta leave the Premier League to get better." No, they know that they're capable of doing, and I'm pretty sure all of us here know what what the Mexican players are capable of doing, because we see it week in, week out in the league. It's just we don't have the structure in the sense of what is our goal with this team, with the selección. We know it's good for making money, but the goal is not for them to go win Copa America. It's not built to go win Copa America. It's not built to go into La Mundial to go win the Mundial. It's just literally. It's just literally.
Hey, it's just vibes, bro. It's just selling tickets and having a good time and taking selfies, and that's it, bro. That's what we're doing right now.
No, yeah.
Do you know what was trending earlier in Twitter in Mexico?
What was it?
Sebastian Heller signing with Juarez, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're telling me you're about to pay this guy $12 million a year to be the highest paid player, right? But you decided to just go that route and not try. I don't know. I just can't believe they probably don't have what 2 or 3 forwards in their youth academy that they can at least give them one season at least. Like, you're not going anywhere. Juarez is not
No,
going
but
anywhere.
I mean, the problem with that is that you, as the league, you want an attractive product.
No, I
You don't
get
want a bunch
that.
of kids running around.
I get
Especially
that.
like if they just saw that MLS got that $1 billion deal from Apple, and they're talking about, they say they're going to do things. Who knows if they actually do? That by 2020, after 2026, they want all the Liga MX rights under one package. And then, you have the Leagues Cup. You saw that Leagues Cup, MLS teams made it to the final, whether they had advantages, disadvantages.
I get
At the
that.
end of the
But
day,
now
like,
we're
you want that
prioritizing
superior
money
product.
over players.
But
Now
it's
we're
not
going
the
back to the
league.
same
The
thing.
league's job is not to create a good national team.
Yep. The league is
That's a
designed
federation.
to attract talent
Exactly,
and to make money, but they are
okay,
not.
but the league-
They don't go
what
hand in hand with the national
what you
team.
should
to develop
request, you should
players.
request that. What you
think
need to request is that there's a separation, that there's a federation that makes its own decisions, because that's what goes on in England. The FA, it's its own people, and then the owners are its own people, and that's why you have like Man City suing the FA. Like, you wouldn't have like Chivas suing FMF because they're the same fucking people. It needs to be two separate organizations, and once it's two separate organizations, then you can say, "All
That's
right,
never
well,
gonna happen.
it's
never
never
gonna
gonna
No,
happen.
it's not.
That's never gonna
Because we all
happen.
know.
But that's a problem. This is the same people, but
Dude,
I can't criticize Juarez for wanting to bring him in, because at the end of the day, you're gonna put your club, you're gonna put your business above the country.
No, I get that, but it's literally what I've been saying. We're prioritizing now money over players, over development.
That's always been a thing, though. I honestly think
know,
it's not
so
that
when is it gonna
complicated.
change?
It's really not that complicated.
Look.
Right now, we're just in a generational change, and we got the short end of the stick. We are in a point right now where the pool of players is just not good enough. But this happens with every selección. It's like we're not always going to be awesome and competing. We might have a couple of years where we're shit, and then they'll get phased out, and then some new guys will come in. But right now, we're just on a downward spiral, and this is probably the worst team I've ever seen in my life, and that's just what it is.
I
think
agree
this
with
team
that.
played worse
The only
than
concern is that it's
Ericsson.
something actually being done to make sure that there's future like good crops. Because right now this is a shitty crop. So I told people this all the time. The fact that Edson Alvarez is considered our best player tells you how shitty of a crisis we are.
How
Indeed.
bad.
Now,
Agreed.
Edson Alvarez, attitude, personality, Guerrero, whatever the fuck you want to say, it's there. Like that's the guy you want at your CDM. But when that's your best fucking midfielder, you're not gonna generate shit. Like, it's not. You're not gonna generate nothing. Charlie, Rodriguez, Romo, both of those guys are defensive as fuck. You start those guys if you're trying to lose or you're trying to draw. You don't start them if you're trying to win fucking games. Like, and Jaime, I know you hate Bella and stuff like that, but talking about crops, if you just look at talent, I'm not talking about club careers, club stats, what they did with the national team. If you just look at raw, pure talent,
Uh-huh.
there's currently no guys that are near the level of Carlos Vela, Giovanni Dos Santos, even Gallito Puto Vasquez in his fucking prime.
Piojo
Hector
Alvarado.
Moreno. Is back in the day, even este pinche, if you want to go back, Pavel Pardo, like there's just no guys that you could, you know how when the team wins a championship and they're like, who would win, the 1996 Bulls or the 2014 whatever? Right now, there is not a single player on this fucking roster that you would say he's superior to the guy from 10 years ago. Santi
Can
is
I
not superior to what Chicharito was in his prime.
can
Quinones
I
is
Dude,
not superior
Santi
to
is
what.
ass, bro. I don't know
can I
No,
where.
interrupt for a
but
little
this is the
bit?
thing. But I don't want to just blame it on Santi. I'm just saying they're out of the
But you
22.
blame it on Edson though.
What? No,
Ah,
Edson. No. I'm not blaming it on Edson. I'm blaming the fact that he's our best player or best midfielder. Is a problem with La Federación. Because if I see that, if I see Edson is our best midfielder, I tell everybody, hey, we got to find a fucking midfielder out here that can create, generate.
And we need
And
to
we
find a
have
striker that can put him in the net, man.
no, because it doesn't matter. There's not.
Of course it
Because
matters.
there's
He's a
no
striker.
opportunities
That's his
being
job.
made.
No, because if you put Santi, if you put Henry, if you put fucking
Excuses.
Chicharito, doesn't matter. You're probably gonna have the same similar results because nothing in the midfield is
Hey,
being generated. You
Henry
need,
doesn't miss that PK. Henry doesn't miss that PK. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah,
Hey, but
but it goes back to the same thing. Okay, Henry comes in, he puts in that PK.
We're having a
Mexico,
different conversation if he
Mex,
scores that PK.
okay, Mexico ties, Mexico wins. Now, like they say in Spanish, estás tapando el sol con un dedo. Now, because you barely beat Venezuela, it's okay. Everything's good. We don't got to freak out no more, guys. We don't got to make any changes. Like, we won. And I think that's the problem, that the Federativos are just content with barely making them by. And now, for the last 2 years, they haven't barely been making them by. They got knocked out in the group stage of the World Cup. It looks like they're going to get knocked out in this group stage here. And there hasn't been any real changes, and I don't think there will be.
But
What's the
it
real
won't
change?
matter because they'll
What's the
play
real
China
change?
in New
And
York.
honestly, I take
Then
that
he'll
back.
be
The
packed.
changes don't matter because the talent sucks. The pool sucks.
yeah.
You
You could
couldn't
bring
name a
in
change.
Pinche Guardiola. You could bring in Mourinho.
It's
You
not
could
gonna
bring in
change
Rafa
anything.
Marquez. Yeah, it's not going to change
There is
shit
no
because the
change,
current
man.
crop
There is
sucks.
no change.
The crop sucks.
The crop is ass, dude. And there's a comment in the YouTube section by a friend. It's like, if this tournament was truly a process, why are we starting Charlie and not putting in youth like Marcelo?
Well, wait a minute. Let me just respond to that because a bunch of you guys have already said this. Why aren't we starting this sub-16 from Chivas or Juarez or America? All the America players are ass. Whatever you guys are saying. There's a reason they're not playing. It's not just the Federativos pressing a big red button saying, let's not start youngsters. They're not good. There's a reason they're going after that guy from Germany because he's good. There isn't a kid in Juarez that's gonna be able to do what that guy does.
Yeah, I mean that's
So
a fair point.
So, like, you guys are saying that we should start young guys. You guys want them to start at 16 years old or whatever. I don't know what you guys want. So by doing that, so when they lose, is the argument going to be the same, or is it whose fault is it then?
No, Ricardo, I was saying this the other day when we had some players that honestly should already be playing for the senior team that instead went to that tournament in Toulon and they lost to like teenagers. It's like, dude, like you might as well fucking throw them out to the lines against Uruguay and then, get them that experience they need because these guys are under 23. Like they're not kids anymore. They're a lot of these guys like, your Fidel Ambris and Westcott, like, dude, these guys are already over 20. They're already over the hump. Like, should already be training and playing in like senior games. Because we're not doing them any favors, like protecting them in a teenage tournament, dude.
I'm not trying to say the I'm not trying to make this like a big case or anything like that. But let me ask you something. How old was Carlos Salcido when he finally got the shot? How old was Oribe Peralta when he finally got the shot?
Those are outliers, man. Those are
no, but this is what I'm saying though. But so let's just bring Sebastian Haller and not give 3-4 kids a chance because they're just not gonna be anybody anyways, right? Like so So here we go again. We're just sitting back in the same spot. We're going back to square
Where's the
one.
middle ground then? Where's the middle ground?
Well,
You
that's what I'm
start.
trying to
You
say though.
start
Like
two.
how
Let's say they start some kid and he doesn't work out. Then they fire the. Then the owner's going to get criticized and the media is going to do its thing. Then what? Like
what has Juarez done the last
I'm not
three
saying they
seasons?
did anything. I'm just saying
They
you guys
haven't
are
done
saying
anything.
they haven't. They've done zero. They bought their way to the first division. But you guys are
Exactly.
making it sound like there's some humongous
Yeah, no, Jesus,
Uruguay
I'm gonna
pull.
disagree with you on that one too, because the way I see it, you bring in a guy like that to the roster, those 2-3 little punks you have is gonna make them better, or 2 other 3 little punks are gonna replace them. Because when you have a guy like that, not only are you learning from him, now you got to compete against them.
Yep.
And if you're competing against them and you can like take the spot away from them, now it shows you that little punk that was running around is actually good.
So,
But by
are they
not
even
bringing
going
in
to
top
give them a
level,
chance?
it's
Though?
like Ron. It's like Ron saying he wants to go to Libertadores. He wants to go to Libertadores because he sees that the players over there, the level of play over there, is more intense. It's a higher level. So there's nothing wrong with bringing in higher level guys. Like, when Tigres brings in Gignac and these guys, and if no one on the academy can like be better than them, okay, maybe you're not giving the youth a chance, but the one youth guy that does make it out of it, it means he's a baller.
And which one came out of it?
Nobody.
Which one came out of
Nobody.
who?
Well,
Out
you
of-
just mentioned Salcido. You took the time machine and you went back and named a couple guys. I mean, we can.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. At least they gave him a shot.
It's funny you mentioned Salcido. You mentioned Salcido and you mentioned Masa Rodriguez. I memory escapes me, but I don't remember. But it was one of those two players that when he debuted with the first team in Chivas, that was against Pumas, where Pumas basically scored like they beat Chivas like 8-1, 9-1. It was just a hugely lopsided result. And the next day, the guy was sent to Tapatio,
That was Salcido.
and that was and it's funny because I remember reading about it, and he was actually thinking, saying, "Hey, this football thing ain't going to work out." He was thinking of crossing over como mojado, but he stuck it through and became a very good player. But going back to some of what you guys were saying about just throwing the kids out basically off the deep end. I kind of have to, you have to be very careful when you do that, because it could also have the negative effect of basically the player not being ready. And I think you have to have, for me, when we had the Copa Libertadores, when we had Interliga, when we had even the Copa MX and stuff like that, there was always that problem the Mexican, football had about, the calendar was too congested, right? And everybody was always complaining about that. But I always saw the silver lining there. I always thought that there's something positive about that, because it forced teams to basically play the players not so much in like the younger players in important games, but gradually, boom, giving an X player 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and then gradually building up their confidence and stuff like that. And I think that that's really sorely missing right now, because I had to agree with you guys on that. That it seems like the youth. There's not a lot of youth players that are really attracting the eyes here. And I know that everybody's fixated and they got fucking their on Pachuca and stuff like that, but honestly, those guys, I mean, the Pachuca players, yes, they're fast, and I said this a couple podcasts ago. I don't see those guys making the jump to the national team. I think those guys are just going to be career journeymen, like a Chato Rodriguez and stuff like that, or Israel Lopez, that were good journeymen, great on the club, but just didn't have the physicality, didn't have the height. Now, granted, I know there's a lot of great short players, but it just seems like they don't have the physique to really play at the top level.
You're sounding like
But
Osorio right now, homie.
what's that?
He sounds like Osorio. He said,
You mind if I interrupt for a little bit?
Yeah,
Sure,
and then after
sure.
that, we'll go to Matthew who wants to speak. But go ahead, Ernesto.
No, I mean all valid points, but also I think we also have to remember a lot of these clubs don't care about cantera anymore. Pumas, Chivas, Atlas, America, Cruz Azul, they used to be the main providers of canteranos for Mexico, but look at America. They bought every player. When is the last canterano that you guys remember that America that you guys think like, oh yeah, that's a selección type player. Atlas hasn't produced anybody in years.
Chivas either.
Chivas, no, and the thing is, Chivas is supposed to be the pride of it, but our talent pool has been pretty much dry. Pachuca right now is usually the ones, right now being the driving force. But just like you guys said, look, what's it called? We're not giving the youngsters any playing time, but we're also not creating any leagues that make us want to use the
Copa
Canterano.
MX.
Copa MX got disbanded. Leagues Cup is now the focus. Now we're playing a tournament that I'm pretty sure at Huevo we need to take a starting lineup to play these MLS teams in the middle of our season, and it's not nothing productive for us. It's just dollars in our account at the end of the day. So I would love to return to Libertadores, and it's things hearing the Federación say, oh, or not the Federación, Liga MX say, oh no, it's because CONCACAF doesn't want us, but yet Messi and them want to join Libertadores. So you tell me how that works, that one league can and one league can't.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Thank you for patiently waiting, Matthew. You're up next, and then we got Albert.
What up, brothers? First off, I just want to say I love you guys' content, man. You guys are awesome. But dude, are we gonna mix up the formation, or are we gonna take out Antuna or Charlie? Cause this shit's bad, dude. I was at the game and these guys have no balls, man. And especially those two players, Antuna and Charlie. Antuna's just a fucking track star. Charlie, I don't know what the fuck that guy's doing there, man. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. It really is. And it's might as well give some fucking time to a youngster than some fucking guy that's 27, 26 years old.
Yeah,
you gotta give it to the youth, man. It's a young man's game. But I'm just I don't know, man. You guys let me know, man. Appreciate y'all. You guys have a good one.
Absolutely, Matthew. Thank you for coming and speaking up. We encourage you guys to return to the podcast every week. And, you guys talk about the product being shit. Well, hey, you guys are part of the problem buying tickets and going to these games.
Exactly.
Hey, no, but
I got a bargain on that shit.
Hey,
Albert, welcome.
It's too late,
bro. Out here just giving out strays.
It's too late in the game to complain about fucking spending $100 and watching El Tri lose. It's in the Zoom contract. It's fucking 20 years. We know what we're fucking getting. Whoever paid a fucking ticket today, I don't know what the fuck they were expecting. They were expecting fucking the Piojo Selección. I don't know. You knew what you were fucking getting.
Exactly.
And honestly, this result doesn't fucking surprise me. I fucking say Venezuela's not a fucking pushover. They're doing good. They've been fucking close to fucking qualifying for a World Cup for the past 12 years. So it's not a bad team. I don't know. They were fucking expecting a goleada. I don't know what these fans were expecting, but honestly, it's time to just stop fucking dicking around. I tell everybody, no hay caballos. There's no fucking talent.
Yep.
Do not expect anything from this fucking. You know what? It's better if you don't expect nothing, because when they do fucking scratch a point, hey, fuck it, we'll do something. That's the way to do it. There's no fucking horses. And then to my friend Ron there, who is obsessed with Libertadores, MLS doesn't have fucking Libertadores, and they're fucking sending guys to fucking Europe. They're developing guys. It's not about fucking the competition. It's about fucking knowing how to fucking develop guys and get them out of there and as a whole machine, not just fucking Chivas and then Chicharito. No, it's as a fucking whole fucking union of teams fucking sending guys. But then we have that fucking we have that impasse where fucking the LEMX used to give a shit about the fucking selección. So it's it is what it is.
Albert,
it is what it is.
Don't use Houston as an example, Albert. Please.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do that, because here's the thing: MLS sending players. Look, the fucking U.S. No. You're comparing. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. You're comparing You're comparing apples and oranges, okay? Because MLS.
The US hasn't had fucking Libertadores.
Hey, Jamaica,
MLS has 10 youth players.
Dominated Mexico.
Jamaica, Trinidad. Hold on, Jamaica, Honduras, you name them. Every team in CONCACAF would always send more players to Europe than Mexico.
Yeah, because what you failed to realize is Jamaica and Trinidad were fucking sending guys to the fucking third or fourth division in fucking England. Fucking Panama have a guy fucking
and because they were a former colony as well.
Yes, so there's a lot of there's a lot of
it wasn't qualitative. It wasn't qualitative. But look at the fucking we're complaining about this and that. Look at you for two eras since the early 2000 and now the U.S. national team has fucking made Mexico their bitch, and they haven't won shit.
Hold on. If you're gonna Mexico, hold on. Exactly. Hold on. Exactly. But hold on. My point.
That's the thing.
Hold on. My point of going. Hold on. Listen. Too many people speaking.
Hey, let Ron talk, man. Let Ron talk.
My point of going back to Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana, is not to send players to Europe. If that's a byproduct, good. Because that's what happened when Mexico basically started playing well, started performing well in Copa Libertadores, started going into the semifinals, started to making finals and stuff like that. And then you started to see that trickle effect of players going to, to Europe, and then obviously the 2005 Copa Confederaciones and then the 2006, World Cup. So it was a byproduct. But I've never made the argument that Mexico should basically make Libertadores a priority to send players to Europe. I've never made that argument, and I'll never make that argument. I've made that argument that Mexico should go back into those tournaments to basically go and make the league better. Okay, and Mexico needs international silverware. And
but that's just a wet dream, man.
Yeah, dude.
You're still thinking about when you were 16, you had sex with that 40-year-old that sucked your balls and like.
Wait a minute.
That's a little too specific. That's a little too specific.
Chasing that high, man. You're still chasing that high.
I got a point to that.
No. Wait a minute.
In the club, but they don't even want you to come in.
No, they're dying for you to go back.
They got the right attire.
No. I don't know.
What's my dream? Sending a bunch of Mexicans to Europe?
No. The thing is, you gotta
whoa. No, you can. Hey, you have the World Wide Web right in front of your fingertips, and I want you to Google the CONMEBOL president's name and the Federación. The guy's dying for Mexican teams to join Copa Libertadores.
I bet they are. They need some money.
But
we're the fat cow that everybody wants to milk, dude.
But the reason the Mexican Federation has not is because they put all their eggs in one fucking basket in trying to make the alliance with MLS and the U.S. Soccer into a bigger cash cow, which I don't agree. I mean, if both federations, and I've said this before, if both federations were committed to making North American soccer the best, or at least one of the best, soccer leagues in the world, okay, I'll shut up. But until then, I'm not seeing that, because I'm seeing that for that to happen, both leagues have to retain their best players, and they have to attract the best players that they can, and start winning. Bro. Now, it's like right now, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and that's fine. But again, I've never made the argument that Mexico should go back into Copa Libertadores because to send players to Europe. I've never said that, and I won't say that.
The U.S. has a very obvious strategy, which is to weaken us by taking our players and sending them to the MLS.
Yep.
And strengthening their league and weakening our national team, and that's all part of their 4D chess. There is no partnership, bro.
I've made this argument many times. At least you knew. That saying that it's always better to deal with the devil you know. Jack Warner, at least you knew what you were getting with Jack Warner and Chuck Blazer. With the new CONCACAF, front office and stuff like that, those guys will just smile in your face and think that you're friends. But at the end of the day, those guys are fucking you over.
Oh
And
yeah,
Mexico right now, Mexico's getting fucking cucked, dude. They're fucking beta bitches.
Yeah, you
Bro,
notice
honestly,
there's always a chair in the hotel. You should ask yourself
Yep.
why.
dude, honestly, I just think that at the global scale, they really don't care about the national game as much as fans think they do. The money is in the club games. That's why you see the club games, they're trying to play it everything. Whether you got your Leagues Cup here or you got Spain and England trying to bring games over here to the US, or now they're trying to create the Super League. They made the Champions League like way more games now. The money is in the clubs. That's where it's at. That's where the players receive their salaries. The clubs are always going to prioritize themselves. You can't say it's Europe because look at Brazil. They have all these guys in Europe and they fucking tie against Costa Rica. Costa Rica, that's what they were playing for. They were playing to not lose, but at the same time, you can open them up. Things we criticize Mexico doing, everyone else does. England, Southgate, dicen que es un pendejo, just like Jimmy Lozano's un pendejo. Germany, their striker, they got a Kai Havertz starting instead of the guy for Dortmund who played in the Champions League final and came in for
Yep.
Germany and fucking scored. Like every country that you think is elite, they're going through the same trade. Italy can develop fucking youth
They
talent
have
for the
been
last
to
fucking
2 World Cups.
for the last 10
Well,
years.
Italy has a systematic issue like in Mexico. It
But my
starts.
point is, if you
No,
look at
but it's
England,
systematic. It starts.
England and Mexico always say that they're like the same fucking thing, like they mirror each other. England hasn't won shit, man. They haven't won
Yeah,
Euros.
they haven't won
They won
anything.
one World Cup, which was questionable how they won it, but England still considers themselves to be a powerhouse, to be elite. Why?
Well,
Because
they
of their
think they're
league,
fucking
their
elite team.
heritage, because they're of their league, because they tell themselves
Because
and
they
the world
invented
tells
football.
them that they have the best league in the world, and they believe it. And
They
they
do.
look. No, they have the most entertaining league in the
No, they
world.
got the best league.
No, they have the most entertaining.
La
Bro,
Liga isn't the best league, man.
if they had the
Those fuckers
best
are
league,
broke.
honestly, that's
The Liga's the best team.
I don't even
With
care about
fucking
that.
teams like the fucking
No,
Bottoms,
but
that's a
the
good
thing,
fucking league.
it's the most entertaining league in the world. But they look down upon their players going to other leagues. Oh,
What does
if
that have to
this
do with
English
anything?
guy went to Serie A, or if this
Yeah,
English
dude.
guy went to
We're getting out there.
Bundesliga or La Liga, oh, he's not good enough. Instead of seeing the positive that comes with learning new styles, different styles. But I'm just saying, everything that we
Well, with
criticize
fucking Harry
Mexico
Kane
for,
going to fucking Bayern.
other national teams are also suffering, which makes me think that at the end of the day, these owners, they don't care about the national game as much as people think they do. At the end of the day, they care about their
Oh,
club.
they don't. They don't. That's the main reason you don't have fucking Descenso Liga MX. Why? Because there's money coming in. Because there's no risk of fucking losing half the value of a team. That's why fucking Juarez is fucking unloading fucking money on the German guy because there's fucking financial stability.
Hey, Albert, I have a question for you. I want to know if this rumor is true. Were they actually charging the press for food at the stadium?
Oh yeah, I wasn't there, but my good friend Edward Cowich from the LA Times Español was there, and they were fucking charging for lunch. It was $25 for a hot dog.
No way.
Or fucking chips and potato wedges.
Dude.
Today it was fucking $28 for a fucking roast beef sandwich.
I heard they're not even covering parking either.
No, and yesterday was fucking $25 for a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Bruh.
With no honey.
That is Comebol. That is Comebol.
That's Comebol. These fucking South America, they want the fucking dollars.
Hey,
Tuca and Alvarito were in the stands.
So I don't remember who mentioned this couple minutes ago in the podcast about Mexico not having any players, and even though I have to agree with that sentiment, it begs the question: what do you do when you don't have players? And I think that's where the sentiment.
That's when you call it. That's when you call it.
hold on.
A guy who could fucking take water on a rock.
No. I think this is where La Puente or even La Volpe would say, if you don't have the players, you got to have the system in place.
Well, yeah, exactly.
For me, and I've been saying this for at least a year and a half, that in Liga MX, I'm not seeing a lot of good tactics. I'm not seeing a lot of coaching. Basically developing interesting tactics. They're not playing possession. They're not playing from the back very well. They're not counterattacking well. It just seems like they're copying. They're trying to copy what's popular at the moment. And one of and I used to joke with one of the guys that used to chat with us about, because he's a fanatic when it comes to stats and basically like the equivalent of sabermetrics, but for soccer, right? And it just seems that it seems like there's been that trend. Hey, can someone mute the thing?
Yeah,
I'm hearing a lot of.
I'm trying.
All right, thank you. So it seems like in the past 10 years they've really tried to basically do that sports analytics in soccer. And for some reason, even though they're trying to get all this data and trying to make the game more analytical, I'm just not seeing. I'm not seeing the game evolve in a good way, because I'm not seeing, like we talk about. Mexico doesn't have any players, but does Mexico really have any coaches?
Yeah, Ron, you bring up a good point with like the modern game evolving. I'm looking at the worst Brazilian team I've ever seen in my life, and I also want to blame the EPL for that, because now a lot of Brazilians watch EPL and they aspire. Their goal is to get to the EPL. That was not a thing when we had the Ronaldinhos, the Ronaldos, the Rivaldos of the world, and now they're playing more like English football. Where's the creativity? Where's the joga bonito, dude? It's like, this is the worst Brazilian team I've ever seen.
I think Brazil could have fielded an 11 from their local league, and they would have done much better against Costa Rica.
Well, yeah, but the thing about it is, I'm seeing the game evolve using numbers, and there's some value to that. I'm not saying there isn't, but I'm not seeing the game evolve because of the talent that you have. And like, for example, I'm trying to think like, which Mexican coach right now, even foreign coach, whether it's Almada or Tuca or whoever, I'm thinking, who right now is playing, is basically maximizing the player and getting the most juice out of that player.
That's
Almada is.
But not Almada got exposed. Almada got exposed in the
second. You said,
dude, he won the Champions League. What are you talking about?
No. Hold on. In the first series with America, okay, in the Conca Champions, okay, that high press, which is not new. Okay, I mean, Arrigo Sacchi used to fucking do it, okay. But the thing about it is, he continued with that high pressing, and it worked beautifully for a while, because he had the players for it, young, they're fucking fast and stuff like that, but they wore themselves out.
Ron, okay? You think if you give this Pachuca roster to Rafa Puente Jr., that he's going to give you the results?
No. But that's my point. I don't see.
Criticize Almada like for coming up short and whatever. But your question was, who's maximizing the roster the most? Who's getting the most juice out of it? Almada is the one who's doing it. With the name he has available to him,
question.
He's over delivered.
No. Okay, here's the thing. Almada's had a couple good tournaments. I'm not denying that. Okay, but I'm talking about a coach that has basically, like, I'll go to La Volpe. I go to basically Vucetich. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Vucetich's system, but he had a system, and he was able to, like for example, the Monterrey teams of the, when they win the Conca Champions, like 3-4 years in a row, or whatever,
he-
and stuff like that.
Dude, do not bring up
You know,
Vucetic, bro. That guy's
no,
ass.
no. He's a good coach. He's a good coach. Okay,
Was a good coach.
Okay,
Dude.
okay, was a good coach. But what the point I'm trying to make is, we're talking about the players. We're talking about the players, but we're also not really talking much about the coaches, because right now, I mean, I really don't see.
You know who I
don't
want?
see
La Volpe, dude. He would get us back into shape.
Oh yeah, La Volpe. La Volpe would find diamonds in the rough.
That was gonna get another Paola guy.
Well, look, I personally wouldn't have a problem with La Volpe or Piojo or Tuca.
Fuck Piojo.
Okay, but look, given the circumstances, but what I'm saying is, I don't see a young Mexican coach right now that's basically that sort of like that tactical genius that like a La Puente was or La Puente was.
Rafa Marquez, but we're not gonna burn him just yet.
No, I think his path is. I think I would keep him in I would stay in Europe.
Yeah.
But that's also for me. I mean, I constantly think about that.
You guys need to watch the Rafa documentary on Netflix, because they're foreshadowing his eventual return to the Mexican national team as a coach, but definitely not on this group of fucking bums. Hopefully,
you know what?
Let him coach some men before he gets any hype, man.
It's very interesting. It's interesting, and it's a good watch. Now to bring it to something a lot more granular and to where the question actually stood. Yes, I do believe that Antuna might have played his last game with the selección. Because it was the same. Wait, it was the same bullshit. It was the same everything.
You know he's gonna get called up again. Stop it.
But I don't think he's gonna be like a starter right off the rip.
Bro, Charlie
he has been.
Bro.
He's getting called up. He's gonna get called up.
He has so much job security, dude. Are you kidding me?
And look, and that's my problem. When you guys are talking about like throwing the youth out there, I'm not saying, yo, Charlie Rodriguez is a fucking bum, the worst fucking player I've seen in the last 10 years, throw out a 15-year-old. I'm just saying Charlie Rodriguez, his whole career has been in Liga MX. You know he hit his ceiling. So when you got guys like Marcel Ruiz at Toluca, when you got like Fidel Ambriz at León, they both play in the same. But this is the thing. They both play in the same league. They're both starters in the same league. So you already saw the juice you're going to get out of one guy. Why not give the other guy a chance? And if you think the other two are not good enough, then come out and fucking say it. But you can't tell me.
Because obviously you don't watch the league. Charlie had a really good season this year.
Yeah,
and
but
if by any chance
he's a great
you don't
league
know,
player, but it's never
in the team that ended in second place.
It's never transcended to the national team. There's
Wait a minute,
players.
I'll give you examples like
Venado
Medina. Venado Medina, he was good for Chivas, but was never like
this is the
national
problem
team.
with
He's
Mexico
a baller
as well. Is the fans trying to dictate what the coach should do? The coach going off the fanometer. If a good coach is going, just like Menotti did when he was criticized when he won the World Cup by the Argentines, that criticized his tactics. A good coach is going to pick his guys, and he's going to live by the sword and die by the sword. He's going to do what he's going to do. He's not going to go off what the fans say and try to appease them. You never win like that.
That World
I
Cup
don't
was
know, man. I
rich,
just find it hard to believe
but still.
that Charlie Rodriguez and Luis Romo are the best
we can do
in midfield.
Yeah.
Marcel's a bum, and so is that other guy, man.
No, and if they are bums, that's fine. But the fact that you're not even like trying a difference, I'm not saying them two, because I don't think Charlie is superior to Marcel, and I don't think Marcel is superior to Charlie. I think they're both at the same level.
But the
word
try though
working,
it's not something you do at Copa America, bro. Not an official match, not a official tournament.
But I want to be honest with you.
But that's the
Luis
problem.
Romo is about the best as we can do in the center, especially with Edson being damaged.
Why not Guti?
No, just in general.
Because that guy sucks.
What about Jonah? What about Jonah?
Yeah, exactly. I know Jonah retired.
Jonah
would be
¿Quieres otro viejo, güey?
superior to Charlie.
So then, what's the whole point of
names
this
out
whole
there,
thing that
man.
we're doing? Then, what's the whole fucking point? You know what? Bring in Chicharito.
Let me tell you the truth. The generational fucking change is fucking ass because generational change should be gradual, but because fucking the team is shit and the World Cup, they're trying to fucking expedite this shit, but you can't.
No, güey, es porque es pinche México,
Because when
güey.
you do,
Vete a los
Whatever
días de
happened to
because when
Porfirio
you do this
Díaz.
shit, you
Vete a los días de Porfirio Díaz, güey. Si
excuse
quieres
me,
hablar de la historia y todo
excuse
eso,
me,
vete a los días de Porfirio Díaz y todo era una mamada. Todo
What
se
happened to
hizo a la
winning your job?
rápida.
What
excuse
happened
me,
to
¿Verdad?
that?
Everything's always been
excuse me.
stacked
When you
together
try,
because that's
when
how
you try,
Mexicans do it.
because when you try to expedite a generational change, you get shit that happened. What happened with that? You fucking expose them and you burn them.
He exposed himself.
No. They fucking send them out to get killed. You're just
If he would
anti-Chivas.
have performed,
They're
you guys would have been
anti-Chivas. They're
screaming,
anti-Chivas.
"Rah,
He
rah,
got
he should
fucking. He
start,
got sent to
rah."
get murdered.
You can't have your
He
cake
got
and
sent
eat
to
it
get
too.
murdered.
If he would have performed, you guys
That's
would
what
have
you
been
get
covering
when
his
you
stuff.
fucking expedite shit.
So you wouldn't have been saying that?
That's
If he
what you
would have
get when you
performed,
expedite. You expose players.
no. If he would have performed,
Well,
would you guys
no,
not
but
be
it
saying
wasn't
he should start?
fucking. I knew
You
from
know
the
you would.
get-go he was gonna get. He was gonna.
Well,
The
he's
change
not
you put
ready
it in
then.
was
He
versus
ain't ready
Bolivia,
then.
not fucking Uruguay.
He's not ready then,
It's
because
a
that's what
fucking generational.
a
But then
national
again,
team is
we're
for
going
the best.
at how
Wannabe
stupid
babies
this
and
generational
prince.
change is.
No. You
We go
guys
to
would already should be on the
the
national team. You shouldn't be. So you want him against Panama, and if he has a clean sheet against Panama, then that makes him ready to start for Mexico. Is that what you're saying? No, the best. You win
I'm
your
not saying
spot.
not at all.
You win your spot, and that's how you get on the damn team. You don't get it because you're young,
You
because you had a good season.
go to the wedding, you fucking expose them and you burn them. And you fucking burn them. For fucking foolishly fucking burn them.
So if he would have, like I told, answer me seriously, Albert, and be subjective. If he would have got a clean sheet against Uruguay, what would have you guys been saying?
Look, it would have been good, but
you would have said start him.
He
That's
did.
what you would have said. That's what you would have said.
But he got fucking.
He didn't get exposed. He didn't
obviously,
perform.
he was ready.
Everyone's dealt a different card, man.
But it wasn't. It wasn't about that.
Everyone's dealt for. Everyone's
He
not.
got
Everyone doesn't have the same chance.
He got sent out to get murdered.
That's what makes a good player. They perform under the spotlight.
Hey, can I interrupt again?
Yeah, go for it.
It's a generational fucking change.
Go for it, Nesto.
Oh, okay. Just to add to your guys' points, like, don't get me wrong, it is a generational change, but look at other selecciones. There's nothing wrong with having older players, right? We've seen like Italy have Buffon back in the day. We see it now like Ronaldo.
Toni
And don't get me wrong, it's apples and oranges in terms of level, right? But what's it called? Like you guys are saying, if the talent pool is limited, at least do a strong emphasis on the structure of what you're trying to do, right? And right now with Mexico, I think we're trying to throw a lot of ideas on the wall, but nothing is sticking, right? What's to say that if they fire Jimmy Lozano, they don't start convocando Ochoa again, just to say like, oh, we brought back in Ochoa, right? Or Henry Martins, or the players that weren't considered for this Copa America. Then we're back to square one, because now it's going to be like, well, these guys didn't cut it. Now we got to go back to the old players, right? I just think right now is we don't know what we want to play. What are we playing for, right? Like, do you guys watch the games and be like, oh, we're playing offensive football, we're playing defensive football, we're playing controlling the tempo, high press. We don't see any of that in La Selección. And I think that's the issue. Like, don't get me wrong, I want a stronger league. I want more players being developed. But like you guys said, it's two different identities going at each other, right? The league doesn't need to provide players for La Federación. FIFA makes them do it. Federación doesn't need to make a better league if they don't want to, right? But they do need to work hand in hand if they want to have a better product. But we're all not content, but Federación is content with whatever it comes down to it. right?
But they
But
already have they're not worried about having a better product. They're worried about fans
no,
like you
and that's
showing
the
up and paying the
and
ticket.
just like you said, right?
Yep.
Me, like I said, I'm part of the problem. But today
Yes,
I
you
didn't take
are.
it as much. But today I was like, you know what? It's Copa America. We don't really get that tournament over here. I'll bite. If it was a Copa Oro or Molero, by all means, I'll turn into a donkey, a donkey sound emo for all I care. But it's Copa America. You know, obviously, like how Homeboy was talking about. You know, we do know. we do.
The fuck is
We
going on over there?
I don't know. We know the product, whatever. But the thing is, it's like everyone's saying. If something's not working, let's change it up. Even if we lose, at least we're seeing the change. But we're not seeing that either. Like you guys said, if Charlie Rodriguez is a player that hit his ceiling, there's other players too that we can try out. Marcel Ruiz, Fidel Ambris. You can probably try Guti if you want to. Jonathan De Santos, yeah, he retired from the selección, but there's still players that can give a lot to the selección. But it's like I said, you know,
You know that for a fact?
Huh?
You know that for a fact?
I think so. I wholeheartedly think so.
I completely disagree with you.
But like to me, like, you know, a lot of people were saying, like, you know, Santi is ass. I'm gonna be honest. I really hope, just to see what the fuck happens to the media.
Oh. Hello?
He was right, Santi is ass.
You guys can you guys still hear?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I think I was getting. Yeah, my bad. I was saying, I want to see if Santi would bust a Carlos Vela and say, I'm not playing with the selección no more. Because to me,
who the
I'm
hell is
like,
Santi to do that, man?
Santi hasn't done anything. He hasn't accomplished anything.
Come on, man. You're giving that guy too much credit.
No. But see, look, the only reason I'm saying is for this reason. The whole point of Santi, when Henry Martin was in the squad, was that he needed to be that man, right? But
the Star Santi agenda. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, the Star Santi agenda, right? But look at who's and then everyone's complaining about, like, why does he work in Feyenoord and why can't he work with the selección? Just look at what's around him. Antuna doesn't know how to center. There's no midfield that's gonna produce for Santi.
So what do you
agree,
propose?
but he can't be missing
Dutchmen?
those.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
know he
propose?
missed
Bring
one.
in
I saw
Dutchmen and
the
Dutch
miss that he
brass?
had today. Trust me, I saw the one that he missed today. Right? But you take
He's
him
always
out
missing those.
Yep.
But you take him out when you're down 1-0, and you take him out in the 70th minute to put in Alexis Vega and who came in?
Memote, and he's
Memote.
been outperforming that guy.
And then what's it called? Oh, Memote.
Yep.
I didn't even see Memote do anything today when he came in.
Not today, but throughout the lead up until today.
And then Chino Huerta missed so many today.
He did more than Antuna, though.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Antuna played, and that's what I'm saying. Is like everyone has pretty much a bias, and it's not like, oh, the coach needs to listen to the fans. Obviously, the coach needs to do his job, but at the same time, you can't be that blind to keep playing the same people in the same positions, in the same tactics, and expect them to do different. You have to switch it up at one point.
Yeah.
You know?
My biggest issue is we're still doing the 4-3-3 from Tata, man.
Exactly. That's what I was telling you. If Quiñones came to pretty much to the light with a 4-4-2 formation, let's play to the players' strengths. They're tall, they're built. Fucking put them to pivot with Santi Jimenez.
They are not tall, man. Come on.
No, but what I'm saying
you
is,
seen
like,
this game? They've lost every
aerial.
Every aerial. They couldn't contest any of those balls. One thing they're not is tall.
No, but what I'm saying is, like what's it called against Jamaica? What's it called? The main game plan was centering. Let's center the ball. You're not gonna get that ball over the Jamaicans. You're not gonna outrun them. So the plan should be hold the ball, have them come out to you, and pass it around so the spaces are made. But they don't do that. They go, all right, let's play on the wings.
Let's play on the wings. That's all they do.
Play on the wings.
But it's always been like that.
It's been like that for like the last shit, dude. I don't know.
I know. And it's like, if you're going to play on the wings, your players on the wings need to do two things. They need to come back in defense, and when they're up in the front, they need to know what to do with that ball. And Antuna doesn't know what to do with the ball. Quiñones didn't know what the hell to do with the ball today. Vega didn't know what to do with the ball. Chino Huerta did did he did a little bit better than Antuna, but he's not playing on the side that he usually plays. So it's kind of redundant. Me personally, I would have started Piojo over Antuna and then have Antuna be the sub, because at least with the speed, once the defense gets Alo Henry Martin gets tired, he can at least outrun them. But you waste Antuna in the first half of every game, and he doesn't produce anything.
You know it's
He
bad when you're
sucks,
like, what's Chucky Lozano up to right now? We could use him.
Exactly. But see, look, that also comes down to what you guys were saying earlier about the MLS and Liga MX. Chucky Lozano left Europe to come to the MLS for the dough. Eric Sanchez didn't get sold to Europe because he got sold to America. So we're not, even though we can't export, we're bringing them back anyway. So at the end of the day,
it's Chiquito's decision
He
to make.
didn't have any offers,
He can
man.
he can
That's
just
bullshit. That's a fake narrative.
he doesn't have to sign the contract.
no, I think he's still under contract with Pachuca, no? Or is he a free agent?
No, what I'm saying is, like, you know, if a team's trying to, you know, because they always say, oh, the player doesn't have any rights, they just trade me like a pair of, you know, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, you still have to sign a contract. So if you don't want to go, you can just refuse the transfer.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the
But let's be honest, dude. Chiquito's not gonna get any. He's not gonna turn into Modric out there going to Europe, dude. He has a ceiling.
No, but
where'd you want him to go, Ernesto? Where'd you want him to go?
Me personally, if the Sevilla offer was legit, I would have had him go to Sevilla.
And if he goes to
Jóvenes and Mexico just talking shit.
If he goes to Sevilla, he's on the bench.
But we have to get them out somehow. These guys are.
Well, he's not gonna be better on the bench, dude.
He's not gonna be better in America.
Yes, he is.
Because he'll be playing every game.
Oh yeah.
No. But what I'm trying to say is this. Right? Look, remember when Alexis Vega was offered the 6 months and he didn't want to go?
To go where?
That dude had a bum knee.
Right?
Hey, where was he going, Ernesto?
Wolves.
No. What was? I can't remember.
Wolves.
The team. Was it Wolves?
Yep.
But what I'm saying is the players, they know the job security they have in Mexico. If they don't, if there's no European offer, they'll go to either America, who has the big bucks, Monterrey, Tigres.
I don't like to paint the team as like the boogeyman and oh my god, they forced me to sign this. Dude, at the end of the day, if you want to get to Europe, you'll get to Europe.
No. But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is this also. Like, the clubs, they're overspending on our Mexican players that we can't. That now Europe, it's not really a dream about going to Europe now, like I was back then. Back then, it was like, oh, you know, I want to get to Europe and be a better player. Now,
so you're saying they're not hungry?
I don't think so.
How do you fix that then?
I don't think
because everyone keeps saying, let's send this guy there, but then there's no offers.
Because look,
they're just not good enough, honestly.
You can't fix someone not being hungry, man. They don't want it.
It's
not fix that.
It's not like they're gonna be like, please pay me less so I can go to Europe. No, dude. These guys make their decisions.
You know, but that's what I was gonna say. Like, what's it called? It might be like a contradictory statement, but like, yes, we can send players to Europe, right? And like how you guys were saying, maybe they won't get the playing time, maybe they'll get the exposure. But the thing is that we have to take out this talent and we have to make them hungry again. But we can't make them hungry if we're overspending on them either.
I just don't think right now, is there anyone that's being held back from going to Europe that's good enough to be in Europe? Because
I'll say his name and you know who it is.
Words fail me,
guys.
Chavez had to go from the back to go to Russia, even though, you know.
But Chavez he's like old, dude. Like, I'm talking
like
about
30 years old, man.
I'm talking about prospects, dude. We don't have anybody that's like a gem in Liga MX that.
Well, look, Marcelo Flores and Diego. I mean, I don't know any opinions of these players, right? I think everyone has their own opinions. But like, look, we sent Diego Lainez.
Rodrigo Huescas.
You know, Diego Lainez went over there, brought back. Marcelo Flores was out there in Europe, brought back. Maybe Huescas gets sold to Europe. Who knows when he'll be brought back?
Yeah, but brought back is their choice. They're out in Europe and they get their tail between their legs and they're like, all right, let me just get my bag and go.
But when they come back, everyone's saying they flopped. So why should I go somewhere that everyone's saying I'm going to flop at or I suck?
You know, so like
it just comes down to mentality, bro. I mean, we don't have those players anymore.
I know,
they don't have it.
You look at Guardado. He's he decided that he could. I'm sure he had 1,000 offers to return, but he's like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna fucking bust it out here. Like, there's just very few players that have the mentality and discipline to like grind it out in Europe and actually like try to like transcend. We just don't have players like that.
And not only that though, like how you guys were saying about like, hey, the coaching. There is no chances for Mexican coaches either in Mexico. Everybody's now an extranjero. Like you have Chivas with Gago, Jardine with America, Tano with Monterrey. Tigre has now Paunovic. You have all of these other type of players, and I don't know all these type of coaches. And like you guys said, like the tactics is always kind of the same, And then the only Mexican coach out there that is Nacho Ambriz. Because Piojo got fired. He's over there in Fox Sports.
Yeah.
The coaching right now is a disaster. I mean, and it's a combination of them not getting opportunities, but it's also of them not preparing themselves. And I mean, you have right now, you have a lot of Mexican coaches that are going to Central America and stuff like that. Who was it? Pete Altamirano, but I mean that also has that's also a factor as to the state of affairs that we find ourselves, or that we find ourselves in. I don't. That also factors in.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, see, look, I'm happy where like Marquez is doing with Barca, and I hope he progresses over there. But honestly, I don't want to see him over here in a selección. Not because I don't want him. Like, I would want him, but the Federación has other agendas. That's the thing. Like, why can't our coach for la selección actually concentrate on, like, look, let's make a camp. I want to have the team for a while, get them suited and all that kind. Like, I mean, the only one who did camps was La Volpe.
I just think like the national team pride, it's not there anymore. I think people prioritize their individual careers and their club careers.
That is true. That is true. I'm not gonna say that it's not. But like, what's it called? You gotta have some pride. You can't have like.
Nah, dude. These players don't fucking sweat. They're not over here. They're not over here proud. You used to. Like, now they're like, you know what? I don't know if I want to go to the national team. It's like,
let me call out Ernesto real quick. I'm gonna call you out, Ernesto. You literally just said, "I wish Santi would pull Carlos Vela and wouldn't show up to the national team."
Oh yeah, I said it because look, I said it because of this reason. I've noticed, like, what's it called? Like you guys said, play the Santi agenda, right? But at the same time, it's noticeable from other medias that they always throw stuff at Santi, and we all know who the media is. Televisa.
Oh my God. Jaime, cue the big red button, the big red Televisa button.
No, he's right. He's right,
and
bro.
when Henry was starting, what were you guys saying when Henry was starting?
What happened?
Start Santi, right? You start him, you can't, like I said before, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either he's going to perform when you let him start, or he's not. And he's not performing.
Exactly. So hold on. So when the fans turn against your boy, you guys start bashing ours, right?
No.
The one that the people chose them.
You gave Henry, and you don't like it. You're crying about it.
No, look, I would not have mind having Henry Martin. That's the thing, though. You could have had Henry Martin. You could have had Santi.
That's what they were doing, but you guys were crying about it. They were starting Henry, and you guys demanded he started. But what you guys couldn't see was that they were doing Santi a favor by bringing him off the bench.
Oh, I forget, because we need a desgastador, ¿verdad?
Yeah, well, there you go. Hey, bro. Santi's not desgastando. Who's he desgastando?
Y'all acting like we're influencing Jimmy Lozano's coaching decisions. We're not, dude.
The only thing Jimmy influences is on those TikTok dances. That's all he does.
Talking about the problem as far as people paying to see a shitty product, Joel, how did you enjoy the game over there at SoFi? Oh, Joel.
Hello?
Yes.
You hear me? I actually had fun, dude. People are mad. People are
Well,
mad.
there's the
They're
answer to all
raging.
of our problems, bro.
That shit was fun, bro.
Ladies and
I mean,
gentlemen, we
look.
can end the show because this is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. Who cares? I had fun.
It was a good game, dude. I don't know why L3 fans were expecting more. The team hasn't been playing that good. They're not one of the strongest teams, and they're playing a Venezuela that's doing really good. In I think they're fourth place in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying. And so I don't know why they always expect that like if it was going to be an automatic win, but I felt they did really good. I felt what I saw because I got invited, so I got to see it. I got to see it from pretty close, but the field obviously I think played a big part, and I'm saying it affected both teams, but you could tell they were struggling to control the ball and to even hit it right.
Yeah,
Did you see
that's
any? Did you see any fights afterwards in the stands?
No, dude, there wasn't that many
He was the one
Venezuelans,
fighting.
and a lot of Venezuelan chicks though, man. A lot of Venezuelan baddies, dude. And I was like, I don't think people wanted to fight them.
well, Joel. I
Oh, they
think
did, but with their cocks.
I think you just like summed it up for everybody. You know, as far as the Mexican national team and why the product is. It doesn't matter what product is out there because I mean, how many tickets were sold tonight? It looked like it was a full house.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was. It looked pretty full. There was like 70. I
And
forgot.
and we're
They
seeing
mentioned 72.
yeah. I think
No,
we're
that was full. That stadium was full.
I think we're seeing less and less people that actually like legitimately follow the national team religiously like us, and it's more and more people that are just looking for a good time and entertainment. And that's
A
it.
good time was had. I mean, but playing, even though playing, obviously the team could be doing better, but I thought they put in a good match. Uh, they had their chances. They just couldn't put it in.
That's what
We
she said.
missed a penalty. Dude, I was like, they didn't, and that was the difference at the end of the day. But I do feel like the Mex fans expect way more from this team and way more from these players, which kind of doesn't make sense to me because there hasn't been a good trajectory of the team to say this is where Mexico should be at. There just hasn't been for a long time. Not even with Martino, and even with what's his face?
Osorio.
Osorio. Yeah, they're really Mex at the senior level hasn't really been doing much compared to what they did in the past to get where they're at now. I know people say they stagnated. There's some truth to that, but at the same time, it's like the game's just gotten very competitive. It's gotten very even, and you're seeing it at the Euro Cup. You're seeing it more and more. Even World Cup results that before just didn't happen. You're seeing more type of results like before Germany not getting out of the group stage. That was just unthinkable. And now you've seen them or Italy not even what they missed out like on two straight
Two World
World
Cups.
Cups. Yeah, shit like that. And but it has to do with just the globalization of the game and just how even it is. And that's part of the thing that we're watching now. We're seeing like the sport it's caught up and now it's like
Yep.
not and when the other thing was because the games just gotten bigger. The World Cup used to be what like 12 teams and then 16. So now it's like 48. And same with like right Copa America used to just be them. But if you look at results of the times that they have invited CONCACAF teams,
dude, the CONCACAF teams they've gotten some results, you know. So even like Costa Rica tying Brazil, you had Guatemala tying Brazil way back in the Gold Cup. You had U.S. beating Argentina 3-0, I think it was, 95. It's just that we don't see these teams match up more often. But if you did, then some of these results wouldn't be surprising anymore. You would start seeing more type of games like this.
Well, for sure. I think we're done venting about the game. I have a question for everyone tonight. I've loved the energy and the new voices on this episode. It always takes a crisis to get people to come here and speak up. But what does Game 3 look like against Ecuador? Do we even want to get out of the group stage? And what is Jimmy's future? Is he going to be our coach for the World Cup?
I think it was crucial to win today against Venezuela. That way we don't get Argentina. I don't see us winning Ecuador. And I think Jimmy gets sacked right after the loss of Ecuador. I don't see him.
Will he get sacked or will he have the balls to resign?
He's not resigning. He is not resigning. He's gonna get sacked, and I think they're already working on who the replacement will be. I don't know who will be. I don't know any names that will come to
better
mind.
not be Aguirre.
I really hope not. I do not want to.
That's who it is. I'm sorry to disappoint, gentlemen. All signs, all roads point to Aguirre.
He already said he doesn't want it.
Hey, no, look.
When did he say that, bro?
Look, if it happens, it happens. I am not in La Federación. You know, I just feel like going to Aguirre is like doing the same mistake over and over again. Didn't progress with him in 2002. Didn't progress with him in 2010. I don't see why it would be any different now. I don't think Pachuca will let go of Almada. And I don't know if people will be happy with Almada. I know a lot of people will say that they want Jardine. I know people will say Almada. I know people will say...
But no one's saying Jardine, man. Come on, who's saying that?
Oh, you know Americanistas are saying Jardine.
Oh, no. He's got to win he's got bigger fish to fry than play with these bums. To play with
they all want
the
the Brazilian Cuauhtémoc.
The thing is, Jardine uses foreigners, so he would not be a good fit.
You know, so I don't know what the future entails for La Selección. But, you know, it is sad because I think, like you guys were talking about, don't get me wrong, I had fun at the stadium. Like Homeboy said, team was ass, but there was ass everywhere, so that was good. But but what's it called? At the end of the day, you know, a lot of us do have that pride. That hurts us that we lose. It hurts us when we don't win against the teams we want to win against, and that hurts us. And, you know, and the fans, I feel like you guys said it best. You know, the fans will hurt. The players probably won't hurt as much as we do, as we would take it. So I don't know what the future entails for us. Obviously, I want to be optimistic, but seeing what I saw today at the stadium, I don't see us beating an Ecuador that beat 3-1 Jamaica. I don't know if we'll lose by a blowout, but I do think we'll lose. And then I think that's when everything, you know, press the red button is going to happen, and Jimmy will get sacked.
For sure. Thank you, Ernesto.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hold on, yo, I got a question. I want to ask it to Ernesto, and I also wanted to ask it to Matt, and I guess Joel is a good person as well. Anybody who was there, was the general consensus of the fan, because Ernesto and Matthew said it in general after the match, was that of, yo, I'm tired of being exploited. Was that something that was actually palpable and you could hear people talking about it as y'all were leaving, or kind of what was the general atmosphere? O era, hambre, el desmadre estuvo con ganas, no hay pedo.
So I got the vibe from mainly I don't want to say old heads, but the older generation is that fan, right? The ones that have followed Liga MX, the ones that followed La Selección for like the longest, the ones that have the good memories of the Selección, those are the fans that I think the Selección are pretty much weathering down.
They're trying to phase them out.
You know, so like, well, no, because look, like that fan is the one in Mexico. The one in Mexico doesn't get to see la selección. When is the last time we seen la selección play a friendly in Azteca, in La Corregidora, in Guadalajara, in Monterrey? It's been a while that we've seen a selección in Mexico, and we all know why. The Mexican fan in Mexico is brutal. They're honest, and they don't really go for the shits and giggles. The fans here in the stadium of SoFi,
Oh man, it's money.
I heard the murmuring.
You're right. You're right about the fans, but that's not why they don't put them there. They put them there because you can't charge what you charge right here.
Oh no, for sure. No,
Just
I know.
can't, and they wouldn't pay it. They wouldn't pay it.
No, but you know, if the Mexico team was playing good and was getting the results, the Mexican fans gonna pay whatever la Federación charges them in Mexico. They'll pay it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
It's not gonna be dollars. It'll be more in pesos. But you can see the consensus. Like I'll give you an example, right? I don't know if you guys saw a video online where they asked a younger fan, like, hey, do you know any players in La Selección right now? And he was like, nah.
Yeah.
And then he started,
They
you know what I
didn't
mean? They didn't know. And I can bet you, if you were to ask a younger fan in Mexico, they'll tell you who's playing because they follow it. But over here, like I said, the Mexican fan, if you guys want to call it pochos,
Puro
or
chicken.
you know, they don't follow the Liga MX teams like they use, like us, like I do, or anybody else. They have other sports in mind. You know, more people are fans of football, basketball, baseball. They'll know all that.
Yeah.
There's a variety of sports out here compared to Mexico. In Mexico, you're either a diehard soccer fan, you're a diehard baseball fan, or you're something else. But your options aren't as variable as it is over here.
That's true.
The consensus that I'm trying to make is, like, you know, in the fans, you have a lot of fans that don't know any better. They're there for the fun, and that's fine. Like I said, that's fine. It's a business. But, you know, when you want the other people to have a change, they don't know what's going on. They'll play Cielito Lindo and we're down 3-0 and they'll still scream and sing it out. You know, and then you have the other fan like myself just there going, why the fuck are we singing? We're losing. You know, but they get there, they're all drunk. Like today, I didn't see any fights, and that's rare because usually you do see fights.
Yeah, especially when the team's losing or whatever.
But you didn't see any fights. There was a lot of a family ambiance. Where I was sitting at, like I was saying, Tuca Ferretti and Alvaro Morales was in our section, and you had a lot of people taking pictures with them. There was a lot of kids with their families, you know, like there was just a lot of family ambience. And then obviously there was a lot of people who were mad throughout the game. The puto chant could be heard throughout the game. I'm not gonna lie. The loudest point of that chant was at the end of the game.
Yep.
And it's like I said, you know, I know fans are frustrated. I'm frustrated, but you know, like I said, I'll admit it. I was part of the problem. I paid my money to see the team. Was I expecting anything different? Probably not. But I expected at least a little bit more. And like I don't know his name said, but like, you know, we did miss a lot of chances. But it's those misses that you know, like we shouldn't be missing. You know, like at least
the field was trash though. So I will make that excuse for the team. It affected both teams. You know, you could see it in a lot of the passes they were making.
No, look,
if it's trash.
If it's the field or not the field, I haven't really heard. I think only a couple teams have complained about the field in other stadiums.
Argentina.
But then again, CONMEBOL and CONCACAF don't organize stuff correctly. They want to go fill up these NFL
stadiums. Yep.
Stadiums that have turf.
Yeah, it's a cash grab.
You know, and what's it called? And I know the Copa America is to pretty much give up World Cup vibes. And don't get me wrong, I felt it today in those himnos. Venezuela played loud as hell. Mexico played loud as hell. When Venezuela scored the goal, pretty loud. When Mexico missed a penalty, that was fucking loud. But like, you know, like it's a lot of chances that like Chino Huerta. There was some, if I remember correctly, where he could have just shot at the goal.
He crossed it instead.
And he crossed it.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, what are you guys practicing? Why aren't you guys completing the shots? If Quiñones can shoot from the outside, why aren't you shooting? You know what I mean? It's those little things that make you question even more the tactics. The subs, I didn't understand them. I don't see the point of having Orbelin play on the sides and then move Alexis and then Chino Huerta on the other side. It's like I know, and this is probably you guys probably gonna say like, well, you said you wanted changes, but those don't like to me. I was like, it didn't even connect with me, you know. And I don't know if you guys felt the same, but I felt like with Chino, it did improve on that side, but I didn't see anything with Alexis Vega. I didn't see anything with Israel
Alexis
Reyes.
is a ghost. Israel is trash. I don't know what he's doing with the national team.
I didn't see anything with Charlie Rodriguez today. Nothing with Antuna. To me, Jorge Sanchez has nothing to do in la selección. I think Huescas and Mozo are much better players than him.
100%.
I don't know who we have for the left. I know Quiñones was supposed to fill in that gap for Lozano, and I don't know if Lozano is just getting either for his what he's displayed or what he commented against Jimmy Lozano, and right now he's on that ban list. Same thing with Ochoa. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm the first person to say, like, you know what, Ochoa needs. I think Ochoa can still be like a third goalkeeper, not the starter. But like, you know, you have Malagon leave. I don't know if he's actually injured or not because he got convocado to America in a friendly. So I think there's just a lot of.
Who do you want as your starting lineup?
Me personally, like if what's it called? I would have Malagon as the goalkeeper, Huescas or Mozo as the left back. Jonah.
Oh, give us your be concise. Who do you want?
What I want? Yeah, okay. Malagon as the goalkeeper, Huescas as the left back, Johan and Montes as the center backs, Arteaga on the right. In the midfield, it would be let me see. It would be Edson, Chiquito as the center attacking midfield, and the other second defensive midfield. I would have either Chavez or Marcel Ruiz or Fidel Ambris, any of those three. And then up top, Piojo Alvarado, Jimenez, and probably Lozano on the left. But that's just the way I think of it.
Yeah, I hear you guys say that, and I just can't help but to picture the same result.
You know? And then, obviously, depending on what the play style I would want, right? Are we doing a build-up? Are we doing a high press? What the players can do? If the 4-4-3, if the 4-3-3 doesn't work, change it up a bit. You know, make it a 4-4-2, make it a 5-2-1. Like, you know, change it up to what the team is providing. But you're going with the team you're thinking about. And I don't see that with Jimmy Lozano. I think Jimmy Lozano is a one-trick pony, 4-3-3. If this player doesn't work in this formation, I'm just going to plug in another one and see if it works.
Yeah, Jimmy's not the guy. Bomba Man on YouTube says those players aren't good enough, but it's not like we have much else. And that's basically where we're at right now. But yeah, guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. I want to put a bow tie on this episode. Want to hear you guys' closing thoughts for tonight.
I want to answer Diaz really quick.
Go for it.
You're talking about exploited. How are you going to say exploited? People are willingly paying their money. I don't know why people would feel that.
Victim
that you're
mentality,
getting,
man.
Yeah, like that's on you, man. You must not be paying attention to what's going on. If you're feeling exploited or seeing those prices and still wanting to pay them, especially with the game now being on TV, because that before was not, you know, if the game, if you were, you if you weren't at the stadium, you had to like go pay to watch it. Now they're on TV. So I don't understand that part. Some people that feel, I guess, because they buy into the hype, but then you're not really paying attention. You just like you read a headline or hear some hot take. The complaints I was hearing, a bunch of drunk dudes. It's just the same type of complaints about players like being ass, but I don't. At the same time, it's like you're not taking into consideration the rival, making it seem like they don't count.
Where would
like,
you put their football? All those people that were around you or that you've seen in the stand. Where would you put their football knowledge from 1 to 10?
like 6.
6? I think you're being generous.
Yeah, dude. I
No,
know.
Come on.
you are. I just saw a clip, a feed, right, a video, and there was a guy asking people off the street, and he showed it was a picture of 4 football players, soccer players. It had Wiki, it had
Oh
Cardoso.
yeah, I saw that one.
You saw that one? And like
Aguinaga, right? Aguinaga was there too.
Aguinaga and
Tony
Tony
Reese.
Reese. And
No
like they
one
asked
knew
like, yeah, no one fucking knew that. I'm like, what the fuck?
You
You
gotta
know?
realize, dude, those guys were like
I could understand you not knowing
20 years
El
ago.
okay, I can understand you not knowing a Tony Reese. But
Hey,
Cardoso and
Tony Reese is
Aguinaga,
OG, dog. Ain't no way you don't know Tony Reese.
I'm just saying,
Nah, dude.
Cardoso,
These guys were
no,
born in like the early 2000s. They're not gonna know these guys.
Cardoso
But yeah, they were
should be.
but
asking
hey,
kids, bro. They asked one
Cardoso should be
guy that
known
was
though.
like our
but Jaime,
age, and if you notice,
the
his
point,
Spanish sucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they don't
Jaime,
have much football knowledge then.
no, but here's the thing: they got so much more information than my generation. But
Yes, way more.
we knew who Miguel Marin, Marin was. We knew who Carlos Reynoso was.
But they
We knew who,
don't follow
Yeah.
Liga MX. That's the
Oh my
problem.
god.
No, that's what I was saying. It's over here in the U.S. There's a lot of different opportunities and different routes that anyone can take. It doesn't have to be solely soccer, but like I said,
if I'm not mistaken, I think that video was taken in Mexico, and that's more fucking troublesome. I'd have to find the video,
I
but
don't think
bro.
so.
No, it was
No,
here in the
that video
U.S.
was in the
It was here in
That
the
was in
U.S.
the
U.S.
Those
U.S., dude.
accents were.
I'd have to look at it. But still, I mean, you knew who Cabino, even if you knew a little about soccer, Mexican soccer, you knew the name Cabino. And if you should know who Cardoso
Well,
is.
Ron, you might think part of it is because, like, you growing up now, the youth, they'll pay more attention to the teams in Europe. So now they're learning about, like, Real Madrid and other
Dude,
teams, and they
all the
don't
younger
really care for
generations,
the.
they're playing
No,
FIFA, and that's how they're learning the names of the players. And
Yeah.
I know
Liga
there's so
MX is
much
not
more.
in FIFA anymore, so they don't know anybody.
I get that, but they have so much more information than our generation.
Yeah, but they
And
don't care
yet,
about it. They're not interested in Liga MX.
yep.
Ron, did you
yeah,
ever buy Tiro de Esquina magazine?
of course I got a bunch of those. I need to
It
finish
was
the
like
set though.
it was a piece of shit magazine. Like, and I mean the quality. It would fall apart pretty easy.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
and it would even, like, the ink will come off. But dude, that magazine, I think it was weekly. Dude, it was just so filled with it. Like, you would get, like, the goal scoring chart. You'll get the like, a tabla. You get, like, info on players. And it's like you said, like, you have to wait till the end of the week to get that. And
I know.
it would tell you all that stuff, and you wouldn't have, like, tidbits. And now it's even better because you could just go to YouTube. You could actually watch, like, the Cardoso goals. But yeah, it's crazy. Like,
You're not gonna
like,
YouTube La
the younger
Muertiña de
fans don't
Wiki.
care now. Huh?
You're not gonna YouTube La Muertiña de Wiki.
Look, dude, if it's not on TikTok, these young heads are not gonna fucking know anything about
The
Liga
chicken
MX.
nuggets.
Yeah, the puro chicken. Nah, dude, they don't.
And why do you think they go to the games then?
Because it's the thing to do. It's the thing
I'm
to
not disagreeing.
do.
I'm just saying. Why do you guys think
It's the thing to do, bro.
I
the
feel
vibe?
I think it's something to connect them, kind of like to their roots in a sense. Like, say, like, oh, I'm Mexican, I'm gonna go see the Mexico team play. In
Bingo,
a sense,
bingo.
you know what I mean? It connects them to somewhat to their culture, but they're not in tune with what the Mexico team is about. They'll go
No,
with
They're
the flags.
misinformed then.
They'll go with the flags. They'll go with the jersey. They'll go with the ambiente, Oh, they're playing Ramon Ayala. Oh, they're playing Vicente. Oh, they're
So
playing.
Mexico has stupid, ignorant, misinformed fans. That's what you're
Oh,
saying.
Okay,
you're just learning this now?
and I said that,
Hey, I'm going
and I
off
said
what
that,
you guys are saying.
and I've said that for a long time that the fan is stupid in Mexico. But you're right about but that phenomenon you're talking about of finding that cultural root that even happened in our generation because the '94 World Cup, the '94 World Cup was almost acted as the same catalyst of like, okay, I want to see Mexico now, because you're trying to find that route to your to your parents' roots, and
Yeah, like
Yeah.
because then after that, after '94, I mean, I liked soccer then, but it was all it's not like I lived like in California. I wasn't lucky as you guys, where you guys had more games and stuff like that. I mean, for me, I mean, watching soccer was a little bit more difficult. Um, but like when I'd go back to Mexico and stuff like that, I'd get my magazines and all that type of stuff. Hello?
Yeah, we're here, man. I just think that nowadays, especially in the days of social media, influencers, soccer has taken like a really interesting turn. It used to be such a niche thing. Like people really didn't watch it. There wasn't much content. But now it's become like it's just a thing to do, right? You go to a Mexico game, you have fun, and the result really doesn't matter because it's all about the vibes, the selfies, and all the other people that you saw there. And you might have like one flagship player that everybody knows, right? That's like a Chucky Lozano or a Ochoa. But right now, we don't even. I think Santi is like the poster boy of the national team. But these are all casuals, bro. These are all casual fans.
Yeah. So I guess my hot take is the realist in me is I think Mexico is going to crash, and I don't think that they're going to advance. Um, I guess the optimist in me would hope that they would pull through, and sometimes there's a game it's like there's a before and an after, you know. Um, and I'm hoping. I mean, and for me, being hopeful is that I'm kind of hopeful that okay, so Mexico qualifies, and they meet Argentina. They face Argentina in the knockout stages, and they're able to win because I'm saying. I mean, if they could pull that off, there's been instances like that in like for example, even in Mexican soccer history, where there's a game that there's a before and an after,
Uh-huh.
you know. And I mean, the optimist in me is hoping that okay, we fucked it up, but now we're facing Argentina, and what better test right now than to face Argentina, especially in the knockout stages.
Yeah,
That's
for
the
sure.
ultimate fucking that's the ultimate test right now. That's the fucking ultimate test, and that's where you basically see okay, well, this is what we're made of. Because again, if we don't do well, and 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 Jimmy Lozano's basically thrown to the curb, the next coach, I don't. There's no other test between now and
The World Cup.
there's no and the World
But
Cup.
Ron, what realistic chances would you have of this Mexico side beating Argentina?
If you counterattack, if
Nah,
you
bro.
if no no what I'm saying is if you're dead if you're basically strict, if you stick and adhere to the style that you want to play, and you commit. I'm not saying it has to be fucking pretty. I personally, I don't like counterattacking. I'd love to be more possession orientated. We don't have that team. But if you fucking commit, and because here's the thing, and this is what I always loved playing. That's why I always liked Mexico when they would play Brazil. Is because Brazil's that type of team that allowed you to play open. Argentina's the same way. You can expose them, but you gotta be fucking. But you have to be. You have to
Then
face
there's
it.
only like just one official win over them.
Yeah, the Copa America in 2004.
It's
Yeah,
you're
and that was a
hoping
beautiful.
for
No, because no, that was actually. You know, I mean, here's the thing. That was a really good game, but I thought La Volpe's game in Leipzig in 2006. I thought that was a really beautiful game. You know,
Yeah.
I thought tactically Mexico was a lot better. The only faults that I have with La Volpe in that game were his substitutions, but in terms of tactical superiority, I thought he played a masterful game there. Now, if Jimmy Lozano can convince his guys and say, "Okay, guys, this is what we're gonna do," but if you're gonna fucking counter, you fucking counter, fucking fast, fucking you know, and do not let that the defense breathe, because this shit about counterattacking and then just waiting, and then you just basically go like, you know, outside the box, and then you're just waiting for your guys to basically show up. It defeats the entire purpose. The whole purpose is to surprise them. But I mean, that's the optimistic, you know, the optimist in me. So I'm hoping that if you're able to basically salvage whatever you can and get to that fucking game, you better make it count, because you're not going to get another. You're not going to have another test.
Well, this is not like the Euros where the third place team goes through.
No, you're right. You're right.
So their chances of making it to the next round were ended with this defeat. Go ahead,
you're getting a
Ernesto.
boosted Gold Cup.
I can't wait. Look, nothing wrong with the counter. I just can't wait to see us countering with Antuna on that wing, and then just butcher that center, dog.
Yeah.
He's gonna butcher that center, and we're like, "Yep, we lost that chance."
Yeah, it is what it is. I think that them not even getting them missing the penalty, dude. That's it, bro. This is
Orbelin
exactly.
shot it. Well, okay. Do you think Orbelin shot it poorly, or it was more on the on the
Dude,
goalie?
come on. That was Orbelin. That's all Orbelin.
Someone said this. Someone said, was it here or in the stadium? Said that if it was Henry Martin, it would have gone in.
If it was anybody else but Orbelin, it would have gone in. I think you had other specialists there. I'll even take Alexis Vega. I'll take Alexis Vega over Orbelin, taking that PK.
Nah, Vega can't do PKs. He missed one with Chivas, remember? Against Pumas. Nah, I don't trust him. No, I mean, I think Orbelin is our specialist. I think we've seen him do more of the penalties than anybody in a selecciones up right now.
I'm never a fan of
too many gyros before the game.
I think he managed our PK specialist.
I've never been a fan of a player that comes in on a sub to take a PK. I always like the guys that started the match, because like they've been in the game longer, you know.
Maybe Romo should have taken it.
I would have had Romo take it. I would have had shit, dude. I don't know. There was other choices out there for sure.
Let's see. We had Romo. I don't think Quiñones was in there anymore at that point. Maybe Chino. Maybe.
Nah, fuck no.
He's gonna take it 3 times.
Nah, I don't think so, dude. I think it was like, I thought Romo was gonna take it, honestly. When I saw them grab the ball, I thought he was gonna take it. But yeah, guys.
I'm gonna say this: Venezuela played like what's it called? Like you guys were saying. I think we also, maybe the fans, part of the fans, maybe part of the media, not underappreciated. What's the word I'm looking for? Downplayed Venezuela. I think so. I saw a lot of memes on Twitter about like, oh, they got nothing to eat, blah 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 blah, and probably never took in fact, like you guys said, that they're 4th place in CONMEBOL. They're playing good. Rondon is playing really well, and I think they kind of underplayed it, and I think that's what has a lot of more fans even more mad. I think. I don't know if you guys think the same or differently about that.
Oh yeah, there's been so much disrespect towards Venezuela. They're having a great campaign in the World Cup qualifiers. I knew that they were going to be trouble with Rondon, you know, being in Liga MX and seeing what he's doing for Pachuca. You know, and I think that overall they look more threatening than we did, even though towards the end we kind of piled on there. But this is not a team that wants to win. Plain and simple. This is not a
I
team.
think Venezuela, like
Yeah.
from what I saw. I'll go for it.
No, I'm just saying, like, Mexico's right now, we're in a weird situation, and these players just, they want to go home. They want to take their little vacation and go back to their clubs, dude. This is not a team that wants to stay any longer in this tournament, and you can tell that the pressure from the media, from the fans, from social media is getting to them. And this team is, going towards absolute nowhere. And we're not going to get out of the group
But
stage.
just like you said right there, right? You said like they want to go home, blah 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 blah. Don't you think that's where we needed a coach that could snap them out of it and like put them into their senses? Because I don't think Jimmy has that strong personality in the locker room. Like maybe because I'm old school, maybe because I'm used to that type of coaching. Those, they snap back at you, they yell at you, they tell you like, "Hey, you're fucking up right here." I don't think Jimmy has that type of leadership in that dressing room.
Oh, he has no leadership, absolutely no backbone.
I think he's that type of coach. It's like, oh no, you guys are doing good. Keep doing
What do
what
you
you're doing,
propose?
and we'll make it together. And then because I do.
Ernesto, what do you propose?
Who do I propose?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a La Volpe guy, but I think his time is past. I think La Volpe his time should not have been cut back in 06. I think he should have continued, and I think that's kind of where we, because I look at other teams, right? Just to give an example, Croatia, right? They've had the same coach since I believe 2017, and he's still in the Euros. Granted, probably this is his last run with the Croatia team.
They got eliminated.
But what I was gonna say is like his highest high was second place in the World Cup. Compared to all of our coaches, I think our highest high is round us. What's it called? Beating Germany with Osorio, and then everything else has been kind of in the mud. Maybe the No Era Penal era, and that's about it in the most recent times. But we've had several coaches, and I don't have an answer. I don't know who I would want. I did like the Bielsa project, and I like what I'm seeing with Uruguay with Bielsa, and I think that even causes more of a little like jab on the side because you're like, oh, that could have been us, but Federación
No,
didn't
it
want.
couldn't have, man.
Uruguay has
We're
talent,
just missing the
dude.
players.
No, okay, but see, what's it called? We're saying, okay? Uruguay has talent, but what's it called? It comes back to like how much do they export? Because I know that Uruguay league ain't that strong either. Let's be real.
Neither is the Venezuela one, and look what happened.
So it's like I said, it just depends. I mean, I think everyone wants to have an answer. Me, I can throw in like this many answers, but like I said, at this point, I don't know.
For sure, Ernesto. Hey, thanks again for joining us tonight. Ricardo Abdias, any closing thoughts?
I got it. I'll come in here.
Let the three-time loser talk.
Me la pelas, cabrón. ¿Qué tal esa? ¿Verdad? But nonetheless, bro, like, you know what? Sometimes matches don't go our way. This was one of them. The team pressed. It looked better than it has in a long time. For a certain point, I had that little tingle. Not, it wasn't my asshole being played with this time. It's the fact that I got a little bit of hope. I was like, holy shit, they're actually doing something. They're proposing. Like, it's looking good. And then, of course, Quiñones takes a giant shit on the game. Everything just kind of starts to fall apart. Mexico comes back with a valiant effort, but as it's been mentioned before, because there was 6 fucking defense, they gave up the ball. They were no longer playing that game. So it kind of hides. It puts makeup on the fact that, like, oh, well, we had 6 opportunities. Well, yeah, bro, they had 6 fucking defenses. So let's get in there correctly. So certain things happen within the match. I think we make it through. Am I somebody who wants for us to fail? No, right? I never went into this wanting us to fail. If you go into this wanting for your own national team to fail, take a hard look in your mirror because you're probably not a fan, right? You don't love your country. You don't love your team. right? So I love my Mexican national team. It hasn't been handled well, but I never wish for them to fail, right? I wish for us to do better. I wish for us to learn our lesson. I hope that this happens. I hope that that's something that happens. Now, I hope we make it to the next round. Do I see us going past that? I don't. We're going to get smacked around. This isn't our conference. This isn't where we play. They're going to make us our bitch. Even when we used to go back then, there was a couple of times where we got close, but we weren't too hot. When we met up in Libertadores, yeah, we hold up to like, oh, de vez en cuando, these years, pero todos los demás, like, things happen. We're not the powerhouse here. We're a guest. Nos van a putear, güey. So just go in knowing what it's going to be and expect it.
Abdias, thanks for joining us tonight. Ricardo, what you got?
Very well put by someone who lost 3 finals in a row and is forever America's son. Where to begin? First off, no one mentioned that the Venezuela team had 2 current Liga MX players and one that used to play for Liga MX. And all 3 of them did what they want with Mexico.
They balled out.
The guy with the afro, the little midget Soteldo, that drunk, and Rondon. And actually, you guys were mentioning Lozano, or when I mentioned how dumb the Mexico fan is. My nephew, he went with his girlfriend to the game against Brazil in College Station, and he also happened to go to the Jamaica one, and he met someone that went to both as well. And they were talking like I mentioned how dumb these guys are, and I'll include him too. He's a dumbass. Like he asked the other guy, like, who'd you come here to, like, a quién le vas and this and that, and he's like, well, I'm here to see Lozano and Ochoa. To you guys' point, I mean, these guys are fucking stupid, man. Just pandering to these idiots, and I always ponder and think, like, what would if there wasn't mass migration with all these Mexicans on this side of the border, would Mexico be better off? That way they would actually put their shit together, have their shit together. But that's neither here nor there. I think Ecuador's going to push their shit in, and Mexico, what do you expect when you have those 2 dirty chemos and Santi Jimenez and Orbelín Pineda just messing it up for the rest of us, Because Mexico sucks, and I blame them.
Well said, Ricardo. Liga MX cannot come back soon enough. I know Habibi says it best. He's like, I am a club fan first, and national team is, he's losing that passion for following the national team. It's hard to be a national team fan right now. Joel, another person that's part of the problem because he bought a ticket to go to the game tonight. What is your closing thoughts?
I did not buy a ticket. I was given a ticket. I'm not paying those prices, dude. I'm from.
How much were they? How much were those tickets?
I don't know. I went with my cousin. She has a season pass for, I don't know, Chargers or Rams, one of those teams. So I didn't even get a ticket. I wanted a ticket, but I saw through the phone. They just scanned it, and that's it. I didn't see them all, dude. I used to go to Coliseum, Azteca del Norte. You bought the ticket right there on game day, and it was first come, first serve wherever no assigned seats. So anything over 20 is a lot of money for me. I would not. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember the last time I paid for a game. It's a long ass time ago, dude. Yeah, but no, I wouldn't. It would have to be like some special match. Yeah.
Well, now that you know that you have to pay for your meal at the press box, is it even worth going anymore?
Holy no, dude! I saw that price. That was insane.
That's crazy.
So when you're covering the game and you're going as press, they'll give you a ticket once you walk in. They give you a meal ticket, and then somewhere throughout the match, they set up food, and then you take your ticket and you get a plate of food.
Joel, we were there
And
a year ago covering the
yeah,
Copa Oro, and it was just like buffet style. You're over there eating.
yeah,
Exactly.
with the soda fountain, and sometimes they'll have beer, like they'll have
Yeah.
whatever beer, and you could just walk up and get the stuff. And this journalist tweeted, and at the press box they had a menu with prices. It was like $25 for a hot dog and chips, not even a drink. I was like, damn, dude, I don't know what's going on. This is the first time I've seen that. First time I've seen like getting charged, like the media getting charged. Usually you get food. Um, so first time I got a meal was at the Azteca in like '03, I think. It was the Gold Cup. I don't know who they put in charge. I'm thinking whoever was in charge of the money probably took it and just paid his aunt because they had like it looked ghetto, dude. And you're at Steca with the major tournament. They're giving us these tortas, dude. There's like a bolillo with beans and they were dude. They were good. They were good, but the presentation it didn't look like you were like in the stadium. It seemed like when you get them at the subway. I don't know if you guys been to Mex. Sometimes like you could buy food going into the.
Or they sell them when you're in in the bus. They'll stop and then
Yeah,
people
that's yeah.
board the
That's
bus and
what it
sell you
looked like.
food.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, dude. And it felt like even for the sodas, they didn't even have like like the soda thing. They just had like they had like the igloo thing. Like if we went to the beach, and
Had like a
so I
cooler.
was like, yeah, they had coolers. And so I was thinking, dude, whoever was in charge of this was like, fuck it, dude. Whatever budget they gave them to feed fucking starving journalists. You'd be surprised, guys. A lot of these fucking journals is like. Dude, don't fuck up the food, man. If you don't go early, you don't think they get paid. What the fuck were we talking about?
Your closing
you guys,
thoughts, man.
you guys making me forget. Fucking wrong, dude. I, I, um, yeah, I think going into this tournament for Max, to me, even from going back to the previous World Cup, I think it's been the effects of what we've been seeing of Liga MX. Just having too many foreigners per team. So there's not that much talent to go around. And there hasn't been a team that I felt like that you could think they actually have a chance to win something. Because then I mentioned in one of the previous pods, if Mexico could win a tournament, outside of the region, Copa America, and then they've been on two finals already, and they've been close games. And so I do think that would be like a goal for FMF, that it should be a goal for FMF, even to try to host it, because that's within the realm of possibilities to host it, even if they just let you host the final. And I don't know if FM doesn't really try something, but I mean, at the same time, they would need a stronger team than what they have now, and I think that's always going to be an issue moving forward, where you're just not going to see that much talent coming in. Where instead we're seeing all these other players that could get called up. A lot of these, other foreigners that are going to get, Mexican citizenship, and that could be a real possibility, especially going into the World Cup. Because I don't think FMF wants another another performance where you're getting sent home in the group stage. Um, so I think there was like three names that are getting put out there as possibility, and and that shouldn't surprise us, just because um, of what they want. But I think with the league, it really has to change. I do hope we see a changes there, because we're just you can't hope that you send like a dozen players to Europe and that's gonna be enough. It just doesn't work like that. You would have to be sending upwards of 30 players to Europe if you want to do that. And then, as I said, if you're doing that, if the league is creating that many players that you're sending 40, 50 to Europe, they don't need to be in Europe. At that point, that shows that your league and and the quality is that strong. They don't really need to go over there to be very competitive.
For sh-
I think, yeah,
for sure,
that
Joel.
was it. That's it.
Well, I appreciated the photos you shared with us in the group chat, your view from the stadium. It is a gorgeous stadium. It's also a very hot stadium. Reminds me of a green room, like a greenhouse, because it's like there's a ceiling on top, but it's glass, and then it's kind of open, and yeah, the AC just blows into the open parts of the stadium, and I got to cover that the Mexico Panama final last year, and it was just really hot and miserable. I don't think that time we had experienced the field issues like the problems that a lot of these NFL stadiums are having in Copa America. One thing I want to leave everybody with tonight. Number one, thank you for all the energy tonight. A lot of new voices that chimed in. We want to encourage everyone to return next week for another episode, and also check out our website, cantinamakis.com. We're on every podcast app out there. So this episode will be distributed to Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all that stuff, in case you missed the live broadcast here on YouTube and on Twitter Spaces. As far as my closing thoughts, I don't think that this is just a Mexico problem. This is a universal problem now that I've been seeing the Euros this year and Copa America. Some of the usual suspects are they're not doing so well. You look at England, not really performing at their best. Yeah, they're in the next round, but everybody is unhappy. Portugal lost to Georgia today. We're seeing some interesting changes in the world of international football, and I think it's for the better. We're seeing some new teams that were typically not considered like big teams, and they're now starting to become protagonists, and I'm all for it. The game is constantly evolving and changing, and right now we're just in a downward spiral with the national team. Another thing that I wanted to point out, there's only been 22 goals in Copa America in 12 games. That's less than 2 goals a game. It has been a low-scoring tournament. Let's just call it what it is. A lot of patadas, a lot of dirty fouls, a lot of yellow cards. That's just dirty South American football at its finest, and Conmebol. And the last thing, and put your tinfoil hats on, conspiracy theory time. It is quite obvious that they are doing everything they can to get Argentina to the final. They're the cash cows right now. They're the World Cup champions. It's Messi's team. They want to pad his stats and give him as many chances of silverware before he ends his career. We see it in the 2 games so far for Argentina. They played against Canada and they played against Chile. And let's be honest, man, Messi was missing out there. He hasn't been performing well. I think he's battling an injury. But you saw the fans, man. They were just chanting Messi. Like, he really is, unfortunately, one of the most popular players in the world. And all the casuals will go and see him. And it's in everyone's best interest to see Argentina at least go to the final. And there have been a lot of terrible calls, a lot of gifted calls in favor of Argentina, and we're going to continue to see that. So honestly, I don't even want Mexico to get past Ecuador and have a potential match against Argentina, because we already know what's going to happen in that game. We got to get past Ecuador first. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Mexico crashes in the group stage, and I think that will effectively remove Jimmy Lozano from his post, and we'll probably get a fireman to come in at the 5th hour to help us turn this ship around. I don't know who it's going to be, but either way, things are not going to change in this generation, and I have zero expectations or hopes for this national team. in the World Cup. And that's all we got for tonight, folks. Thank you all so much. Take care. Have a good night. YouTube, thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you in the next one. It's been a long one tonight, almost 3 hours. So kudos to everybody that stuck in